Hardstuck, no. They're gonna struggle. No, no, no. No, Hardstuck, not into 55. They were. They're so young. They're so young. Wait, what? Hang on. What the hell is this? What the hell is going on here? This is actually full French. It's actually disguised team. What Hardstuck main team is actually French worms. Of course, you know, I do want to point out, gamers, that to be clear, this tournament, whoever wins this will be the God Emperor of PvP, right? I'm just going to lean into it at this point, guys, okay? I'm just leaning into it fully. The God Emperor. It's happening, okay? It's happening. Let's go. Let me in. Let me in! Yeah. God Emperor of PvP? Yes, that's what they get. Dodged a duel to a random Blazino Hayes, calling himself best Guild Wars who ever had in PvP. I'm a random that you dodge an ego bad game income duel me, even your boyfriend Aeon easy peasy. Jules. When you ready to duel me, whisper me, you know how to find me, but don't claim you're the best PvP gamer in the whole world because you ain't an Aeon mate, got nothing. I don't even know what that even means, to be honest. It's beyond me. Why is Sid not playing with 55? Just rosters have moved around, right? Rosters have shifted around a little bit. I think basically what happened is basically Sid kind of quit the game, right? He wasn't super interested in playing anymore. And then rosters shifted around a little bit. And there's that kind of like weird thing where it's like, wait a minute, there's only 5 people on a team and the roster's already shifted. So it's, you know, it's just PvP, right? Like, you know, rosters change over time, right? It's not as like, you know, rock solid as it used to be. Are you going to let me in? Okay, I'm in. Hey, Badger Muffin there with the prime, and here we go. Colosseum is coming up next. Oh, yeah. All right, gamers, let's do this. In fact, wait, I just clicked on the wrong game. Nice. This is not the game I wanted, actually. This is the game I want, but actually, never mind. That can't happen anyway. Misha here on the Chronomancer, waiting for the really hype game to come up here, but right now we see... No, oh my god, Sokos getting taken out here. Draza being eliminated here. Misha, aka the Master of Disaster, trying to eliminate Sokos. Sokos being shut down. Draza getting that cleave. Frey tornadoing them off there to actually bleed them out further. Nice play there by Frey, actually. Allowing them to stay dead for even longer, giving 55 an even greater map advantage. This is absolutely massive right now. Draza finds another kill on the Spectre. Still playing the same build that he normally does. Just the Condition Spectre. This is normal. Let's go ahead and leap into the other game, though. Can we get in? Yes, we can. Alrighty then, gamers. Here we go. Oh, this is going to be a big one. I am super curious on how this one is going to play out, because look at this. This is what people did warn me about. Some people did warn me, gamers, that Triple Thief would exist. And here it is. Because, of course, there's been some nerfs. Willbender got nerfed. Harbinger got nerfed a little bit, right? Vindicator got nerfed. And that does mean that Spectre is a bit unchained. We actually have Aeoni here on one Spectre, Miaz on a second Spectre, and, of course, Azadome on a third Spectre here, Feifei. And then, basically, they're kind of like, it's basically double side noder almost. And then 3 roamers, like mega fast roamers. They're just going to try and just generate mass kills and run around the map all over the place and just like absolutely just devastate people and dazzle them with mobility. And that honestly might be tricky to catch up with. However, bear in mind, Red Team are a very robust team, a very strong team of gamers here. They absolutely are. We have Barcode. It's going to be Enigma here on the Power Herald, Roaming Herald. We have Gravitant on the Bunker Herald of some kind. Demolish on Harbinger. Drace on Tempest. And Maya on the Spectre. Will they be able to keep up with their opponents? Will they be able to make that happen? I don't know. Let's see if they can. It's Fire Tempest too for Colony Cleanse as well. As you know, of course, double. I think it's actually... It is double Colony Spectre, I believe, here from this. But there is actually a good amount of power damage too. The Blade Sworn, of course, power damage. Deadeye, mass power damage. However, the Tempest will have a very good counterplay into the Deadeye because it has so much projectile block and magnetic aura and stuff like that. So the Deadeye will struggle to get value where this is But yeah, Deadeye actually has been seeing play recently, by the way, gamers. It has actually been getting back into it. No joke. It's actually a serious thing. You know, it has been seeing some experimentation with a lot of things getting nerfed, and it is a bit of a meta breaker, right? Deadeye has always been a bit of a counter pick almost, where you kind of break the meta with it, and that's kind of what's happening right now. It just kind of free casts on you, and it's a little bit hard to chase down. It's a little bit hard to pursue it. Oh, and already Spectre... Red team, rather, finding themselves a kill onto Feifei. They should be able to finish that off there as well. Yeah, Thief cannot get that revival by any stretch of the imagination. So, and what they want to do is they want to almost set up a bunker on one of these nodes. And that's what they have right now with the Catalyst into the Herald. Let's see if the Catalyst can actually get this kill. We now do actually have this Spectre pushing in, but there's a lot of projectile block here, which will actually make things a little bit difficult. However, it is going to be a 1v3, so we're going to have to see some pretty extreme kiting coming out. Ventari is now coming up, but we also do now have the +1. I believe coming in from another Revenant, from the Tempest rather, trying to resustain him, maybe going for a res, saving the glyph, goes for it, lands it as well. Very nice line of sight into the precast res. Basically, they must have agreed that they were going to basically kind of almost like precast, arrange that death. There is an Earth Shield here as well that can be given to the Herald to keep them alive even more. Will the Water Overload land? Yes, it will. But is that enough? Yeah, gets the block. Might want to drop the shield now. Let's see if it is. There it is. Shield is now down. Shield picked up very, very shortly, and that should resend quite nicely. In fact, though, the healing is very strong, actually, coming out of Ventari. And actually, the red team managed a very, very nice... a very, very juicy 2v3 they actually managed to hold off there with a clutch use of that revival skill and careful usage of defensive cordons. And now because they lost that node, they know they can't really fight it back, but they were able to win the map during that situation. So now they're moving towards middle again, just looking to place their bunker somewhere and then rotate around that. Set it up, being annoying, and then away we go. And now let's see, can blue actually fight? And this is where they are going to have problems. Blue team's comp does not have a support in it, and that means that they can't really take direct team fights. It'll be extremely difficult for them to do that. Because at the end of the day, they simply do not have the same. They're very fast, they're very mobile, they have a lot of damage, but they can't actually take straight-up fights. And honestly, that Herald bunker, being able to survive and being able to bunker down is actually really causing blue team problems. Because again, the Deadeye can't break through quite as effectively here. The Deadeye is a bunker buster, but Ventari Rev just has so much projectile block. We have the block on shield, we have the block on staff. Combine that with this protective solace here, and it's so hard to really get through here for these players. It's going to be very difficult, very challenging to actually get enough damage through all of that. Let's see, kind of the game is continuing to progress. There was actually a D-capture over here. It's going to be the Bunker Herald into the Blades one. Probably nothing really happens there, so it's going to be a really key point of contention. It's actually this node here. This Spectre 1v1 is absolutely massive. Of course, it does tend to favor the Spectre trying to get the decap, as of course the Thief will eventually have to disengage and kind of stealth up there, which will slowly decapture the node. But if the 1v1 is won, either way, that is absolutely massive. Really, really huge. Let's see if that's going to happen. So far, it does appear the Red Spectre is advantage here. However, another Spectre here from Ione comes in for the plus, and that will secure this node for the blue team. And in fact, yeah, that's some good usage of the speed here. Asdome gets in there and combined with the Bladesworn gets the kill on the Herald. Blue team getting themselves a double cap now. Very, very strong, actually. That is kind of the value that this composition can deliver. This 2v2 is looking okay, but ooh, a very big Spectre revive there, but it's not going to be enough, actually. That was the trait Shallow Grave coming into play there. Ooh, but it might just get revived, actually. Can they get this cleave? It's going to be difficult. They're really trying to, but the Spectre is very, very low. There's the Siphon, but is it going to be enough? They've got to get this. They really cannot afford to allow the Survival to come through. Ooh, it might come through, but no. The Deadeye does actually have to give that up. We have another Herald coming off respawn, so red team should be able to actually secure this kill and get away with this. Blue team is fairly heavily focused. Looks like they actually want to keep contesting this. Ooh, and that Deadeye really going for that kill, but there is Shroud now on the Spectre keeping them alive. Ventari ready there to keep them bubbled up. Might even try and drop some healing on them, and there is the heal skill, so the Spectre should be able to get to a Kite's one. Even, in fact, turn around the aggression back onto Feifei over here simultaneously. Oh, but again, we see some very good mobility. A very nice revival there by Drace, though. Saves the day on middle, getting that Harbinger back into play with a very, very good renewal there. And now drops the Earth Shield to kind of continue this contest. But, oh, yeah, blue team are fast, right? They are fast. You can really see they are pushing red team to the limit, trying to keep them on point here. Just trying to keep up with the rotational speed of blue. Red handling it, though, pretty well. They do have themselves an advantage. If they can just hold here, they should be able to slowly win the fight. The big question is, can they do that? The Harbinger is very precious. It's got nothing left. No CC, no stuns, and only 4,000 HP. Has an evade coming up there. Oh, can he get the heal skill off? He absolutely can. There is the heal. Does land. The kiting is good right now for Dimash, and that water overload might be enough to restabilize. Yes, there we go. There it is. Very nice water overload there. They don't want to give up middle, though. Yep, they are able to actually contest that and not end up denying that. That would be a really good decapture there from Maya, but it's not going to happen. The 1v1 will now commence into Miaz. Meanwhile, just this very stale 1v1. This is good. I almost want to see, like, I mean, Feifei almost might want to leave, although they did plus into it to try and get a kill last time, so we may see that happening. But right now, I think Red's in a good spot. They're going to get Jeff Roachless down here in middle, secure that node fairly well. A good fight here for them again. These, like, slightly long, more protracted fights are excellent for the red team. It's very, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed. And now with that kill, this of course frees up the Power Herald to get some work done and force this neutralization, which is exactly what happens. And then I think what we probably see here, it's going to be a 2v2 actually. Otherwise, I think you just leave here as the Power Herald. I think that was exactly what Enigma was planning on doing, but that's not going to happen this time around. They're simply going to enter this 2v2. Bit of a weird 2v2. Harbinger now moving in. That does actually leave middle open, but they are able to very quickly secure a burst kill there on one of the blue Spectres, shutting that down instantaneously. So even though they're going to give up middle, they are now going to have their Harbinger very nicely positioned on this node to contest it and then be an excellent target to have a 2v2 with and plus into. Oh, I think we may see the Catalyst. Actually, oh, the Catalyst does get the contest. So a good rotation there by the Catalyst from blue team. And once again, we have this Herald under pressure, but you can see that the Herald is just barely able to hold on here until the Tempest arrives, and this rotation has essentially failed now from the blue team. And yeah, red, they're handling this well. I think they are actually playing this out very, very well. Good use there of Shallow Grave once again. That's a fun trade. Basically, just to explain what Shallow Grave is, if you're tethered to someone when they go into down state, it will basically full heal them instead, right? So instead of going down, you'll get full healed. There's actually a really big interaction there with Elementalist. Basically, you can basically revive an Ellie when they go into Vapor Form. When they drop out of Vapor Form again, it will actually fully revive them instead because of the way Vapor Form is coded. So very powerful cooldown. It's a long cooldown, 300 seconds, but you can absolutely turn a fight. You can turn a game with clever usage of that Shallow Grave ability. Red trying to force the issue here on middle. I think they should be able to. However, Dimash does end up getting shut down here. And that is the disadvantage of having your Necromancer kind of role-playing as a side noder. You must +1 it. Necromancer has Harbinger, can be an excellent duelist actually, and certainly hold its own in a lot of 1v1s. But if it does get outnumbered, even Harbinger has so many. It just can't really do anything about that, right? It's very, very bad outnumbered. That is a classic weakness of Necromancer. Even fights, Necro is super happy. As soon as you're outnumbered, Necro is in a super bad state. Historically, that's how it's been a lot of the time. Has a lot of problems just surviving in that regard. Meanwhile, we now have a big fight, and again, this is what blue doesn't want. Like, red forcing this is very, very good. However, blue does have map control, so as long as blue disengages when they feel like they're about to lose, I think this is okay. They are trying to push the issue very, very hard. I'm not sure if that's going to work, though. The Tempest is in play. There's a lot of damage and a lot of saying, yeah, blue now realizing they probably want to get out of that. I do like that, and I like this plus from Azam. Looks like Azam's going to go for a buff into a plus. Catalyst from blue does actually die in the 1v1. That's a massive 1v1 win. Oh, we might see the Shallow Grave. No, it's going to be the Deadeye, actually, so Shallow Grave is impossible. This should be cleaved out here. I don't really see this being revivable by Azadome. That's not really realistic. We'll have to just simply take this 1v1 directly afterwards. I have actually seen Azadome perform very well, actually, in 1v1s into Spectre on his Deadeye, so that might be a matchup he actually feels comfortable in right now. So take a look at that. But yeah, I think blue team did overstay their welcome a little bit here. You can see that they overextended on this fight. They should have just been annoying and trolled and then disengaged, but not every player disengaged, and that will now lead to some significant map momentum in favor of red. Objectives are grabbed one apiece right now. Sword for Azadome is definitely very, very good. That's a colossal damage increase on the already massively damaging Deadeye, so that is good. However, red team pick up the shield for a bit of defensive bonus for the entire group, and of course a free revive. Water Overload should, I think, keep this Spectre. No, not quite, actually. And that will get stomped. That's not revival there. So that's a really nice pick-off there by Azum. You can see how much of a good assassin, like the sniper roleplay Deadeye really is there, putting in some serious work for sure. Very nice indeed. We love to see that. Meanwhile, though, let's see what's about to happen. This could be a potential good fight for blue now, because they do have a slight numbers advantage. They are going to outnumber this, and they are going to take some serious names here. Yeah, they absolutely are. Drace fully down, so that's going to be a big cleave there. Oh, is that Reservoir? Red is committing to it. That might be ambitious. This is very, very ambitious. They're going to go for it, but I think they're going to get punished, and yeah, they are going to get punished for that. Some very nice cleave damage here from the blue team, really bringing the pain. However, I've got to point this out, a very nice disengage here. This is a tough skill to actually understand how to do, and it does look like that red team, despite committing very heavily to that revival, are not actually going to suffer too hard for that. The Herald dies, that's super sad. Looks like the kiting should be good, though. Just a little bit more evasion. Can he hold on? Oh, very disgusting interrupt there on the sword. That was a really big interrupt. It's not going to be enough there. Yeah, the Tempest is actually able to get that cheeky revive off respawn, though, so just barely holding on long enough to be saved. But now blue team, just some little bit of momentum. They are really taking it here. They are absolutely in a good spot right now. They've got themselves a double cap. They're getting back into this. They're only 80 points behind right now. This is a very, very winnable game here for our blue team. Can Team Barcode manage to get this game back under control? Ooh, this Harbinger dying would be catastrophic, actually. A supreme mobility and rotational speed from blue really putting in work there. Thieves all over the place, securing that killer. Now, red, they need this node now. They've got to get rid of the catalyst as quick as they can. They do have the outnumber. Let's see if they can do that. But look how fast these thieves are going to rotate. This is problematic. And wow, this catalyst is holding well. Look at this 1v2. Held that for a very, very long time. Of course, not a crazy amount of DPS, but holds long enough for the Spectre to get in there. Oh, no. I think we're seeing a bit of a turnaround here. Blue now favored, in my opinion. Blue team definitely favored in this matchup. They absolutely are. Harbinger now just back off respawn, but it's still a double cap. Bear that in mind. We're still dealing with a double cap here. And it's hard to break, too. This is hard to break for red. That's the disadvantage of having a bunker. As well, of course. If you have a bunker and a support, you are less effective at breaking through positions because you have less damage. Whereas essentially there's 5 damage dealers on blue, so they have colossal damage output. They can very easily break through and manage to get kills. And yeah, this bunker, he can't cap this into the Spectre, and they need this node. A good decap, that is going to slow the game down a little bit, but red, they need to make something happen fast. 2 minutes on the clock, a relatively slow game. They need a node now. They've got to force the decouple middle. They might be able to do that. It's a good 3v3. They've got their Herald, Tempest, and, of course, the Harbinger. That's very good. Can they find a kill? Oh, no! Azum actually dies in the 1v1. Oh, that's really bad, actually. Not necessarily winning, like kind of stalling is good, but losing is not acceptable. But actually, it does not matter, actually, because I've got to say, a very strong performance here by blue. They actually win the 3v3. They've just got so much damage. Support is not good enough here from the Tempest. And that is that actually might, yeah, that might have carried the game, actually. Despite the fact that Azum did have issues there, they're able to get an insane 3v3 win. Despite the lack of support, despite the lack of Harbinger, they make it work, eviscerate the Tempest, and then, of course, clean that fight up. But during all of that, very smartly, we do see the rotation from the Harbinger out of the fight, and they get a double cap. Now, things are getting very, very spicy there. That was a little bit slow from blue, to be honest. They should have rotated quicker to basically prevent this from happening. They were maybe not aware of what was going on the sides, and they have now given their opponents a little bit of hope to come back in this. However, yeah, the thieves are on point. They immediately know, yeah, there's a thief here. There's no way they can hold, right? They can't hold that. That's not going to happen. And in fact, we are going to see a death almost certainly onto Red Spectre, and this is not good enough for Red. They need a decap. They need to force a node. Now, they do again have their team fight trio here, so this is workable for them. This is not impossible. This is a good 3v3. Again, the Tempest, the Harbinger, the Spectre. This is what we like to see. And if this bunker rev can hold on, a double cap does win the game for Red. Wait, does it? Ooh, it actually might not anymore, to be honest. It's only 40 seconds. I actually think they need to... I actually don't know, guys. It's a little bit tough to call it. I'm pretty sure a double cap isn't good enough. It certainly isn't now, actually. Only 30 seconds left on the clock, and blue are going to get this in a crazy close game here. 20 seconds left. And yeah, this fight is taking too long, and of course, now they have the outnumbers, or they're trying to decap middle, but they can't do it while also holding this 4v3 simultaneously. I've got to say, Jeff was blasted, man. I've got to say, Jeff, he actually did some serious work in this game. He held some insane 1v2s during this. He was doing a great job in this 1v1 positional here on the Catalyst. I got to say, Jeff was blasting, man. That was huge. And yeah, blue team are going to get the job done. They are going to secure victory in that situation. That is it. Yeah, that was very well played by Jeff. I've got to give that to Jeff. 100%. Very well played by Jeff on Catalyst. And honestly, that 3-3, that was a big... This 3-3 here was huge, right? That was very, very huge. This 3-3. That should not have gone the way that it did. Yeah. What a game. Great game. What a game indeed. Dire node at far. Yeah, because the Spectre could have maybe made it there, right, Sind? Yeah, because, well, then the Tempest and the Necro could have made it. That's a good point, actually. That is a good point. That is a good point. Because then they could have bunkered it, right? They could have held it. It would have been close on points, though, right? I think it would have been very close on points. Either way. It's a tough one. It's a tough one regardless. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next round. I thought there was some Frenchies playing, actually. But I actually don't see the Frenchies, like Esprit and so on. I don't know if they are playing or not. This could be a good game, actually. Barcode versus Xeon. That'll be good to look. I think Indecipherable versus Notamelon is also definitely an interesting game here as well. Sure I didn't hack? Nah, Jeff is a good boy these days. Jeff is a good boy these days. French, I didn't see the French team. There might be one, I just didn't see the name. But yeah, Hardstuck, no, they're gonna struggle. No, no Hardstuck, not into 55. They were, they're so young. They're so young. Wait, what? Hang on. What the hell is this? What the hell is going on here? This is actually full French. It's actually disguised team. What Hardstuck main team is actually French Worms. What a surprise. Azaz on Herald. Esprit on his alt account. Here on Spectus on the Spectre. We have Kill on the Blade Sworn. We have Riken. Wait, what is his name? Riot Devs Are Better on a second Spectre here from Riken, and Syndrome on the Tempest here. How about that? Hardstuck has been taken over by the French. The French have taken Hardstuck, and let's see if they can do what Barcode were unable to do here. This should be a good matchup here, actually. And again, we see a slightly different composition. I am expecting to see a few double Spectre comps. That is what a lot of teams do think is pretty damn strong right now, so not a surprise to see this type of composition. But again, it is a little bit of a different approach here. We do have a bit more of a team fight focus, I'd say. We have this Tempest here than the red team, right? Like, we have a support. We do have this Power Revenant. Of course, the Bladesworn could also be quite handy in the team fights too, in addition to the extreme mobility from the double Spectre, so we do actually have that still. But it is still going to be a very rotational, very highly mobile setup. Do we actually see the Revival? No, good interrupt there, over there from the Spectre on 3-3 Needler. Will it land anyway? Yes, it will, though. Yeah, man, just to keep it calm and simply recast after the interruption has worn off and get that restabilization. And so far, blue team in a good spot here, very much in control of this matchup. Where can the red team break through? That's what's important to look at right now. It's not going to be easy to do. They do manage to get something done here on the middle node, but we already have the Bladesworn moving in to go ahead and contest. Well, that was a big visual effect, wasn't it? To actually get into this and start contesting into the Catalyst. Ooh, Feifei dies over here, actually. That's not what red team need right now. They've got to be finding value. Spectre 1v1, pretty stale, actually favored towards red there. Esprit doing a good job. Ooh, Azaz does get caught, actually, though, by that Deadeye, man. It is such a tough thing to deal with, right? It really is so touch. You know, it touch you with the bullets, right? It is a tough build, right? A lot of the builds in the meta just are not ready for Deadeye. And of course, it's something that people don't actually play against very often. It's relatively uncommon. It's just started seeing a little bit of play now, right? And as a result of that, people aren't ready for it. They don't know how to shut it down, right? And it does blast, right? You cannot let it free cast, and you absolutely cannot let that happen. Otherwise, you will die 100%. And of course, was able to get Azers, but they didn't really get much out of that, though. The French are really doing a good job right now of not losing. They're holding very effectively here, I think. Again, they don't manage to get a push with Azem to get this capture. Esprit was able to hold it until Azers came back. They don't manage to actually get a full cap with a quick plus here onto the Blades Sword in the middle. It's being held by Kill very well. Tempest is over here. Where's Red breaking through here? They're in a bit of a tricky spot. They might try and get a kill here on the Spectre rather, but there is the Urshield that should be a good amount of sustain, and of course there will be some more healing coming through. Now, 2v2 with a support in general isn't actually that good, particularly when you actually have a Blade Sworn on the other side, because the Blade Sworn's kind of like an aggressive support. And to be honest, there's not a lot of damage, not enough damage output really here from Blue. This is not the best 2v2 for them, but they are doing a good job of kind of holding it well. Well, that could be a big tornado if there's no stun break available right now for this Red Spectre. There actually isn't. I'm just not sure if there's quite enough output to really get through there, particularly seeing as Shroud is about to be full up again. And yeah, Red Team do manage to get themselves a bit of a map advantage. I think they got themselves some good fights. They found a way to isolate that support away and reduce the value of the composition of Blue Team. And there we go. Now they're back on the board. And this is almost a mirror of what we saw in the previous game, where the Red Team kind of has to find an opening, right? They find this opening and they capitalize on it really well. However, they have to be careful not to lose that momentum. Their composition is very vulnerable to running out of steam and not being able to kind of finish the job, right? You can see that they are quite squishy. Spectre forced to disengage away, and Blue starting to reassert control after that momentary lapse. Blade Sworn into the Catalyst once again over here, and now they've got this. They forced this kind of team fight, this 3v3. This is what they want to see, right? They've got to be careful of getting outnumbered, though, of course, because they are now outnumbering, and again, I like that. I like that Red isn't letting them have it, right? Red is not letting Blue have their 3v3s. They're saying, no, we're going to make you 2v2. We're going to make it really awkward for you to have that Tempest on your team. We've got 3 Thieves. We're really fast. We're going to force bad matchups. And that is actually a big part of playing Thief, right? You know, Thief is the greatest strength of these high mobility roamers, is you make bad matchups for your opponents, right? And that's exactly what Red Team is trying to do here. They're going, yeah, we're going to make you have a crappy 2v2. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to counter that, right? And honestly, I think it's working right now for Red. I think Blue do need to actually figure out how they're going to rotate against this, because right now I think Red are actually out-rotating their opponents. If this keeps on, they will find themselves in the lead, right, in this game. They had a bit of a rough start, and Blue started off very, very strong. But again, if Blue don't actually figure out how they're going to play this, they're in trouble here, in my opinion. They absolutely are. And once again, looks like we're just trying to get this no, but there is no support here, and that does make things a little bit spooky. The Blades one, again, with this shout setup, does function as a semi-support. We have vigorous shouts healing a lot, actually. They increase the base value on this build. So, you know, you actually do get a lot of healing out of this setup with the tactics trait line just by spamming all of the shouts. And, of course, you have Warhorn for vigor and barrier and condition cleanse, too. So there is definitely, like, some really high value in that regard, actually, with this stuff. But, again, I do think Red has a good strategy. If they keep executing, they're going to have a good time. And yeah, again, this is just not the kind of 2v2 you want, right? Like the Tempest, they are holding it for a long time. So Red haven't got the node yet, which they do really want. But they now find the opportunity to actually get this plus in here. However, that does actually leave mid open, and Esprit is able to get this decapture, but at a bit of a harsh cost. Actually, again, this Catalyst is really putting in work. You know, like it's so funny because I think a lot of people tend to view the meta in a very one-dimensional way, right? It's like, oh, if something doesn't see any play, it must be bad. But honestly, Catalyst has not been bad. You watch Mio play it. You know, you watch Jeff play it. You watch Grimjack play it. It was never, like, a bad build, right? Like, the Hammer Catalyst build was honestly legit. It's been legit for a while now. But it just didn't fit, right? Like, that kind of aggressive side node role wasn't a thing because it was bunker, right? You played a bunker side noder, right? You know what I mean? It was bunker. And therefore, Blades 1 and Catalyst kind of didn't make sense. You wouldn't play them. And it wasn't that they were bad, it's just that their role didn't make sense. And now that the bunkers have been stripped away a little bit, right? The Vindicator has been hit really hard, right? Like, things are a little bit less tanky in general, right? Like, support got nerfed. Harbinger's been nerfed down a little bit, right? It's less durable. Now, you see that there is actually this aggressive side node role where you do want to be aggressive, where you do want to do damage, right? And honestly, putting in a lot of work here is Jeff, actually, in my opinion, again on this Catalyst. So very interesting to see how this meta's developed. And I've got to say, the Blade Swarms are definitely delivering value too. Just so nice for these 2v2s because they have damage and just enough support, just enough of a hybrid that you can sustain and kind of out-sustain even if your opponent has that support on the other side. And yeah, Red find themselves in a good position. Jeff immediately pushing, the Roachless instantly pushing over here. Okay, and going over to the Henge. Needs to be a little bit careful, I believe, but actually they do in fact have the outnumber again, using that Thief mobility, cleverly disengaging away here from middle on that Red Spectre. There it is. Blades on 1v1 into Spectre over here. That's going to be very slow, I think. The Spectre might be able to eventually find the kill because the Blades one probably just runs out of juice eventually, right? The cooldowns on the shouts are relatively long, and yeah, you can see that Riken able to force this neutralization over time. They're still very, very neck and neck, a very evenly matched game. I do think blue team is certainly kind of understanding what they need to do here. They're being a little bit more aggressive about forcing fights they want. I like pushing this Spectre into the Blades one a lot, really utilizing the strength of the 1v1 power, actually, of Spectre. That's something that a lot of people overlook. It's not just about being fast. Spectre is about being able to actually duel quite nicely as well if you're playing Condi at the very least. But now the counter rotation comes in. Oh, I like that contest, though. Oh, it doesn't, we're not quite able to get it. Didn't feel like the other Spectre was able to get here in time. So they do end up conceding that no, which is not what they want to. Very unfortunate for them. Of course, they should be able to get it back quickly, and that might be a kill here on Feifei. Feifei, oh, getting double beamed. Oh, that's so much torment, actually. But it actually, oh yeah, the torment is just barely going to run out, I think, but it will certainly force a node concession here. Yeah, this Blazon does not have cooldowns to engage into that Spectre. That will now be a capture in favor of blue. But red, they get middle. There was a bit of a, a fairly strong rotation over there. 3 Thieves lurking around. Looks like blue want to actually force the issue on the Catalyst here. And it could be a good play. The Catalyst actually very, very low. Severely outnumbered too. Will be for a little while. Azaz comes in. Is that going to be enough? Will that kill come through? I believe Jeff in so much trouble. He is going to go downside there. Oh, is there any way they can revive? Oh, we could. Yes, it's going to be a shallow grave, I think. Yes, it is. Oh, Jeff held on just barely enough. And then the Spectre, very nice there from Ione, bring him back. Just again, just to remind you, this shallow grave, basically dropping out of Vapor Form after going into Vapor Form counts as a down state. And this means that shallow grave will revive an Ellie that uses Vapor Form and then drops out of Vapor Form, essentially. So that's basically what's going on there. It's a pretty weird interaction, but very, very strong. And Jeff actually benefits from that absolutely massively. You love to see that. Yeah, that is not the build. Yeah, I can show the Hammer Catalyst builder. Here it is. It's Fire, Arcane, and Catalyst with Marauder and Melandru with Energy and Cleansing here. Oh, Jeff in a bit of trouble here again on Roachless, but they do manage to get that kill. They turn it around brutally. He has Nerves of Steel, does not go into the downstate, and that's not really revival. And red now have themselves a very, very big advantage here in this matchup. They might find themselves a triple cap, because again, this is very stable. Oh yeah, this two, they find themselves again. Blue are trapped in this 2v2. Tempest and Spectre into Spectre Bladestorm. That's just not going to work for blue, and you can see it's not working. We might have to see a burn on the glyph here. Yes, we absolutely are. It's not good enough, and it gets interrupted. Yeah, I've got to give it to red. They're rotating nicely here. They are. They've had a few missteps here where they have slightly not been quick enough, and they've lost some map pressure, but they've been really moving fast. And you've been seeing how powerful that Triple Thief can be, right? They're just forcing these good fights. They are forcing terrible fights for their opponents. Like, again, that 2v2, just you see it again and again and again and again and again, and it just is not good, unfortunately. And I like this Beast play as well here from these Spectres. They've got such a leader now. Blue trapped on their spawn. 2 people still bleeding out on respawn. That is not going to work. They get the Beast. They're 400 points. This game is over. This is GG. Very nice game, to be honest. We might see a shallow grave over here. No, we do not. Not available for this particular Spectre on that, but there it is. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this the Catalyst here is Jeff. It's Roachless. Okay, and of course Jeff here refers to himself as the Roach. Yeah, that's not going to work, and they just needed to. They needed to not play into that Thief, right? I don't know what they they needed to either play around it a little bit more, but honestly, maybe you just play 2 in this situation, because to be frank, their Thieves are just too fast, right? They just kept being forced into bad situations, Playing 2 is a weird thing, right? Like, playing 2 is something that you don't see very often in PvP these days. Like, people tend to play 3, but it's not a bad strat, right? Sometimes playing 3 is not the way to go, right? And honestly, if you're like no thief into thief or 1 thief into 3 thieves, yeah, maybe you just bunker down and play 2 nodes. They do have 2 thieves, and maybe that's where they should have relogged potentially. Maybe go for like a Harbinger or something like that, and just play a single Spectre and just bunker down 2 nodes and rotate between them. Because, yeah, their strategy here it did completely crumble. It just fell apart, to be honest. Particularly at the end there, just like a huge cleanup. That's it. That's it. Hardstuck main team has been vanquished. 30 Mystic Coins. Thanks so much for the Maya Sunspear. That's very kind. Very kind of you. Reminder, massive PvP tournament, guys. Huge tournament coming up. Very, very shortly. Okay, let's move on. Ooh, I think we've got, wow, we've got some interesting games here. Look, this is a bit of a meme match here. Syndrina versus rank 55 Dragons. Oh, how the tables have indeed turned here. This is a beast game as well, actually. Look at this. But we also have such a sick game too, with Barcode versus the French. Oh, we are spoiled in this round. What a sick round, actually. What a crazy round. From these teams. Wow, 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 wow. I'll try and maybe keep an eye on these. Yeah, Cran on Tempest. The legendary Tempest. It is Cran. And a support builder. Playing Earth, the Earth trait line. And they, of course, lots of protection uptime. Bit of stability can be great with the Glyph. And Stoneheart, reducing damage there from critical strikes, or in fact, negating them while attuned to Earth. We have Goku on Blade Sword. Gornet on the Harbinger. Going with the Worm this time. Wants a bit more kiting potential. It's actually very good on this map, right? There's a lot of kite worm potential kind of about the place here, where you can very quickly disengage and almost use it as like a mobility tool to gain a really nice position. Fly on the Spectre, playing a 1,000 Needles, actually. So double preparation here, actually. That's interesting. We have Prepare Seal Area and 1,000 Needles. And finally, Syndrina on the Power Spectre. He's a big fan of the Power Spectre. He loves the power builds more than the Condi, I think. Not going to be a Deadeye this time. It will indeed be the Spectre. And here is the build. Critical Strikes there in there. And, of course, Rune of the Chronomancer and Marauder Amulet. And, yeah, what a very interesting comp here. The Chronomancer from Misha. Again, might be hiding a little bit of tech for Modir. Might be a little bit cheeky with the tech. It's going to be an interesting builder. It's going to be Rune of Ore with Sage Amulet, Scepter Shield, and the Staff with the Inspiration, Illusions, and Chronomancer. It's Boyce. The absolute beast, the monster. Here he is. He's finally untamed again. He's broken free from the jail of playing Willbender and Herald. He's back on Ranger where he loves to be. It is Boyce on Untamed. And that's Marksmanship, Beast Mastery, and Untamed. Going for this far push already. Trying to 1v1 into Fly. Frey on the support builder on Tempest. Avatar Amulet with the Rune of the Soldier with Earth, Water, and Tempest. Just the same as what Cran is up to. Draza on the Condition Damage Spectre. Running a slightly different build with an extra well, basically, instead of the slightly different potential build coming out from Fly on the other side of this equation. And finally, Zan. Yeah, Nade Hollow not so good anymore. This time, it's going to be Carrion Amulet, Rune of the Sunless, actually, with Death Magic, Curses, and Harbinger. And actually, Zan is going to go down here, Ultra Scuffed. And look, this is why you never, ever count out a team like Red. They are absolutely incredible in team fights. This is what they do best. They are fantastic at these team fights, and they get it done. They take out Frey. They take out Zan at the same time. Let's see if they can find Misha as well. They may well be able to. Fly coming in to go for this big kill. Cran immediately moving to resustain Fly, who was a little bit low in that situation. But a very, very good start right now for Team Ultra Scuff currently. This is a team to watch, not only now, but in Mastery of the Arena as well. Okay, they may not be, they haven't been, they're not like a fully mega robust roster that's been playing for months and months and months, like 55, but they're incredibly good players, and a lot of them have some incredible synergy too. Syndrina, though, in the downs, they've got to get that res. Oh, it's going to be tough. Cran, seeing if they can find some kind of position. Yeah, tried to get the jump there, but unfortunately they were not able to make it up there to actually grab that glyph. It's a bit tricky to do there because Tempest doesn't have that extreme mobility, right? You don't have a sword port like on Guardian where you can position yourself quite nicely. You are a little slow on this board. You don't typically run Lightning Flash, so you can't have that kind of immediate burst mode. But Boyce just gets collapsed upon there, and a massive blow, but There is an excellent revival from Frey, but still that's a vital cooldown burn, and now we go back into the team fight here. Blue team probably feeling good about this and see if they can actually get another kill here. Can they find it? Cran supporting very, very well there. Blue team health bar is pretty good. However, of course, support very much available here from Frey at the same time. Looks like Cran is going to be the big target here. However, there is an Earth Overload, and indeed, oh, it gets interrupted. That's actually quite unfortunate, but there's Obsidian Flash. It should be good reason. Cran able to make it to the console there. Yep, makes it fantastically, and then goes back down there. Ooh, can't get the heal off. Gets interrupted a little bit. So Cran has to be super careful here, actually. Tries to cut away, but the focus is very, very extreme. Oh, there we go. We do get that Wash the Pain Away, which, of course, would have been quite nice to use on, I imagine, you know, the teammates of Cran, but that is not going to happen. This time tries to water over. But wow, the interrupt game from 55 is insane. Cran is not being allowed to use any abilities here, just permanently interrupting these key overload abilities over and over again, pressuring this Tempest away from the fight. And 55 take a very commanding domination in that fight. They're really executing this extremely well and showing that they are, in fact, the ones who are going to be winning these team fights, despite running a slightly unusual setup, okay, with this Chronomancer here as well. The Chronomancer build, well of precognition, feedback, and the wells. Of course, this is, I imagine, okay, like a big alacrity build. You're using stretch time here as well with shield, so very high alacrity uptime here. A lot of healing on wells. Here, of course, the inspiration trait line and loads of healing with illusionary inspiration too. So very interesting build that we actually see here. Could this actually be a Chronomancer build coming into play that actually isn't a bit of a meme? Honestly, it's starting to look a little bit more legit here. Bring a good chunk of support, lots of block spam here, lots of healing, alacrity uptime for the team. They get their cooldowns back a little bit quicker. Honestly, doesn't look like a meme here. Of course, spamming clones using Scepter and Staff and so on is also going to be generating a little bit of area sustain. Reflects excellent in this meta with feedback, and a very low cooldown combined with that alacrity. It's going to be very potent indeed. That improved alacrity really speeding up the cooldowns here of this Chronomancer build. That is a big meme. Yes, it is indeed. And here we go. One dodge man tries to find this kill, and yeah, I mean, it looked very good, looked very promising at the start for Team Ultra Scuff, but goodness me, 55 are now in this very much a power position here, and this tends to happen on this map. You know, like this map is quite linear. It's quite hard to break out after you've got a little bit snowballed, and you can see that 55 just pushing their advantage, just getting this kill on Cran directly in the spawn, just forcing the issue where blue team aren't able to get themselves back on their feet. They've just been knocked over at this point, and it's so hard to get back into this. Syndrome in trouble. Does manage to get a kill onto Draza. I don't think Misha can realistically get this revival. Might try and go for it. Frey's coming in. Is there a glyph available? Let's see if there is. Was, I think the glyph was interrupted there, I believe. Actually, yes, it was, but it might still land anyway. Oh, just barely no. The cleave was good enough from blue, but is that really going to be enough? I'm not totally sure about that, to be honest with you. It's a very good kill there, and that's certainly the road to recovery, the road to redemption for the blue team, but it's non-trivial here. Yeah, is this the dawn of the Chronomancer meta? Honestly, I'm not entirely convinced just yet, but it certainly looks indeed pretty powerful, okay? It looks like a build that is putting in a little bit of work here as well. Yeah, Boyce just getting even more damage over here. Hunting down Gornet, and that's the big thing about Untamed. It's got a lot of mobility. It's just great for securing these kills, and you can see that the Harbinger having a very tough time in kiting there. Boyce cleverly disengaging there, doesn't want to commit to that. There's a lot of damage in there. Waits for his next opportunity to strike. In just a moment, let's see if he can find that opportunity. Gornet uses the Earth Shield to survive, but how much is that going to last? Oh, that range of the longbow really putting in work. But the healing is good now, actually, and Gornet back up to a good amount of health. Resustains himself pretty darn nicely there, but again, how are they going to break out? They're just so trapped. They're just getting locked down. Like, they're fighting in roads right now. This is not what they want to do. They're significantly behind in this game. They don't want to be here. They can't be here. You know, they want to be fighting here. Frey is free capping while they're fighting off point. And we have this Spectre 1v1 into the Blades. Now, we actually saw this go pretty nicely for the Spectres previously, so let's see if Goku can do any better. The way it typically has been happening is that you simply just run out of cooldowns on the Blades one. However, the Spectre from blue, we actually have Syndrome coming in there to try and maybe get a kill onto Draza. The mobility is good, and Boyce has arrived. That won't necessarily help the resustain, though, on Draza, which could end up being problematic, but there is full Shroud available. But the damage output is absolutely vast onto Draza. Draza having a lot of difficulty holding on here, but he does manage to get himself a juicy well of bounty and escapes quite nicely, in fact. able to get to a kiting spot where he should be able to hold on for at least a good amount of time. Yeah, we're in a triple cap now, and I think this game is pretty over. I actually want to go check and see the other game right now, because the other game may well be exciting. Yes, it absolutely is. Oh, Barcode. Actually having a bit of trouble here. Oh, wow. You know, I was really hyped for Team Barcode, and I thought they were going to perform really well in this monthly, but I think they actually might end up getting eliminated. They may not even make it through to elimination here, actually, gamers. Because I think they just lost too many games. Because they're having so much difficulty here. The French team, Hardstuck main Hardstuck team is just shutting it down. They do not suck. This is definitely one of my top teams that I'm looking at, right? Like, one of the top teams. But I do think they have been punished by the balance changes, right? They had a really solid... They really like the Willbender setup. You know, like with the, you know, the Support Guardian, the Willbender, right, the Vindicator in the mix there as well. That's the setup they liked, and that has now been removed, and that's certainly causing them a few issues here, I think, in adapting to this new metagame, I think. They haven't really found the answer, and I think people have moved away from the bunker revs, right? Like, I'm not sure if the bunker rev is good enough. I think you just need more damage. We're actually in a meta where damage is good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed, gamers. CMC has done a surprisingly good job of making the metagame not putrid. CMC appreciation stream, guys. Let's go ahead and appreciate the glory of CMC. CMCW in the chat, guys. He's done a pretty damn good job there. Boys playing Untamed monthly. Time some Untamed nerfs again. True, yes. Time to delete the monthly. Oh, delete Untamed, not the monthly. Oh, yeah. Well, as you can see here, 55. Yeah, I mean, people predicted this one. They saw this one coming a mile off. And, yeah, I think this is perhaps not a surprise. 55. They are the team that's been around for the longest. They are the team that has the experience. They have the theorycraft. They have the composition. And they just have that team synergy and killer instinct that makes them the best. You know, they've been winning tournaments left and right for a long time now. They certainly are a little bit ahead. The two teams that are ahead of everyone. It's Team USA and Rank 55 Dragons, that's for sure. And that has now been demonstrated here and now by 55. They show that they're not going to go down in Swiss. They're not even going to make it super close. They want to win this tournament. And honestly, they want to win Mastery of the Arena. They want to win that, which is coming up very, very soon. And everyone should watch it. Everyone watch Mastery of the Arena, and everyone hand over all of your gold as well. Boom. Nice. Can I actually do this? I can. Motor prize pool. Hell yeah. Look at that. When is Mastery of the Arena? It is next weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I got an early preview of Monet. It changed my life. Honestly, look. If I showed you guys the overlay... If I guys showed you the overlay... It would change your life. It would be a game changer in your existence. True. Is there a game still going? Oh, there is. Ooh, hang on. Ooh, we do. And it's going to be Ancient Contenders coming out on top against Team Xeon over here, in fact. Let's see how the game actually went. Yeah, it was actually blue favored more or less the entire way. One. Not a lot of kills, though. Fairly slow game. Look at this. Blue got a bunch of kills early on. It took a long time for red to be able to actually get anything done. But there was a big, like, kill void as well for our blue team. Blue team, they basically got this in the bag at this point. I don't think they can really lose at this point. But, yeah. Very interesting to again, see this. I think a very strong, very, very strong composition in general from blue. We have Spocker on the Harbinger. We have the Willbender from Cookie. Niccolo on the Herald. And Nikonii here on the Catalyst. But yeah, he actually does play a very different Catalyst build, by the way. He likes to play Dagger. I've seen Nikonii experiment a lot, actually, with, like, Wizard Amulet, Sage Amulet. A lot of different setups are preferred by this player, actually. A very experimental, very theory-crafty player there as well. Dagger, of course, bringing a lot of kind of almost like AoE cleanse to the table. There are lots of healing. Lots of mobility, like with Dagger 4, Ride the Lightning, and so on. You're very fast with this setup. Can handle itself in a 1v1 quite nicely. So, yeah, kind of fun build there as well, guys. Fun build. Fun gaming. Fun content. But there it is. Yes, Cookie is back. Not everyone abandons the game like Floody. Okay? Some people do return. Yeah? Yeah, blue team closing this one out right now. There it is. That is the end of that. We're going on to another Swiss round. Let's see what we get next. This is going to be an exciting one, I think. Should be basically the last game, I think. What is going to be up next? Yeah, where were you? Where were you when Ultranum, you know, needed you? Ultranum needed you, Floody, and you abandoned them. You abandoned them. All right. So I think, ooh, yeah, that's going to be a fun one. So this is going to be Syndrina into the Frenchies and 55 into Fell from the Tree. I mean, yeah, I think this is going to be the interesting game. I think 55 are going to crush this one, to be honest. That's going to be tough for Fell from the Tree. But this game, I think has a lot of potential. Oh, Capricorn, fun map. Fun map. Yes. Yes. Very, very nice indeed. Very, very nice. Here we go. Here we go in Capricorn. On the red team. It's the Tempest. Syndrome. Wait. Raikkonen wants a pistol. Wait, he does not have access to a pistol right now. That's unfortunate. If someone is a kind soul, guys, send a basic pistol to Raikkonen 3842. Although he does appear to actually already have one. He actually has a pistol. Mighty pistol here with Mighty Sword. Mighty Scepter. So maybe he doesn't need it. Is he actually getting trolled? Dude, he's getting memed. He wants to change his build, but he can't because he's in combat. And he needs to relog. He's just relog. They're like... Oh my god, Jesus. Why doesn't he relog? Oh, I guess he can't. It's too late now. Oh, God. Wait, listen. Don't do it, Raikkonen. Don't... Yeah, I hope you go... Yeah, good choice. I hope you go on League of Legends. Okay? Wow. Nice. Blue team not allowing Raikkonen to change his build. The punish has come through. All right, here we go. It's going to be the Tempest here for Team Hardstuck. Hardstuck Syndrome here. Raikkonen on the Spectre. It's going to be Kill on Bladesworn. Esprit, a.k.a. Spectuz, on Spectre number 2. And Azaz on the Herald. Up against Ultra Scuffed. Kran mirroring the Tempest. Goku against the other Bladesworn. Gornet on Harbinger, bringing the Necromancer to the party. Fly on Spectre. And, of course, Syndrina on another Spectre. So, 4 Spectres in this game. You know, it's actually funny. It's actually funny here, in my mind, that the meta is actually surprisingly diverse. People are playing a lot of different roles. The only thing that's out of whack right now is actually Spectre, right? Or Thief in particular. Like, people are stacking Thieves right now, because Thief is, you know, I mean, Spectre is definitely a bit overtuned for sure, right? It does a little bit too much. It's a bit too versatile as a build, but other than that, I think it's really cool that not every team is running a Harbinger. Not every team is running a Willbender or a Herald, right? There's actually a lot of different things that people are playing right now that all seem to be working differently in their own way. I think we're going to see an even game here for sure. Evenly matched teams. Let's see how that one goes. Ooh, a big 1v1 here, actually. Fly very, very low here. Dying here would be pretty catastrophic, actually. That's a juicy fear, actually. Can Fly hold on? Gets the pistol. Does not get his heal for a little while longer, though. Those collies might just barely take him out. Has a little bit of shroud left over. Oh, tries to hold on. There's a bit of barrier there, but isn't enough. I'm not sure if it is. This should end up being a kill. Oh, does survive just barely long enough for withdraw. In fact, does manage to just barely wriggle away there. I'm surprised the Red Spectre didn't go for that push, didn't go for that kill, but Fly out to disengage. And in fact, make it to the team there, to the loving embrace of Kran. Oh, but no, not enough. The Tempest secures the kill. HS Syndrome gets the kill. That has to immediately go and help out Azaz. That kill should get cleaved. I don't see Kran having the time to actually get the revival, and that's exactly what happens there. And Red team are in a good position here. Can Hardstuck take down Ultranum? Could it happen? Could that be a thing that goes on? Let's see. Meanwhile, blue team going up here. And Kran does get taken out. Oh, the team fight just crumbling a little bit there. Yeah, Fly The dominoes fall over there in that fight. Fly goes into the full kill there. We see Kran nearly getting fully taken out there as well. Cinder, of course, in trouble too. And not the cleanest disengage here as well. Like, blue team having a bit of trouble leaving this fight. Red team doing a good job of really piling on the pressure. This fight isn't recoverable really here. They're so far behind on hit points. They're even now outnumbered here. Well, not anymore actually. They are now exactly even, but they're so far behind. It's going to be very difficult to actually turn this. You can see that Kran can't really get in there. They're just too pressured to properly muscle this fight. It's slowly getting back up there with this water, although that will kind of get a bit of a reset there, but a long amount of time has passed at that point, and Red are now ready to go as well and get directly into this fight too. Really focusing down the Tempest. Tempest does have the Earth Shield, probably has an Obsidian Flesh too, so bear that in mind. A lot of cooldowns available. Yep, there's the Obsidian. Earth Overload now being used. Big protection uptime. And yeah, straight up, team fight lost. Blue team are not able to make it happen. Fly down state. Kran does manage to grab that res there, so that's good. But I think Blue have got to start moving away. They need to disengage this. Like, even with that Harbinger, they're just not able to win this fight. They're going to try and now turn it around, but it's a triple cap in favor of Red. Team Hardstuck main team are absolutely insane. They're holding this triple cap right now. There's not really much of a movement potential here. Blue going for the decap here. Fly already moving over. I like to see that. That's very, very nice indeed. But is it going to be good enough? That's the question. And already Esprit is matching that, as you can see here. He should be able to just barely... Oh, no, he doesn't get the contest, actually, but he doesn't really care about that. Meanwhile, Bell is being contested by the Spectre. Blue team trying to get that. But yeah, it's going to take too long. Azaz now arrives, and that's still going to be a very strong double capture point here in favor of the red team. They're holding that double very nicely. Very weird aside here. Guys, would you guys want the timer to be bigger than it is now? Just kind of throwing it out there. Because I'm, you know, making a few changes. Do you guys like a big timer or a small timer? What do you guys think? Big timer, small timer? What are you thinking about? Yeah, we'll see. Breaking the flow of the commentary there, but you know what? I had to think about it. I had to, you know, I just gotta get it out there, you know what I mean? Size matters, chat. Yeah, and this is what we kind of see a repeat, right? Like, blue team is just not able to win the team fight, right? They just simply can't do it. They've lost both of their Spectres again here. Oh, nice 1v1 there from the Red Spectre here from Esprit. That's really good. Able to eliminate Fly. They're going to grab themselves the Bell here. I hate to say this. This is kind of GG, I think. You know, we're getting towards GG here. I don't think there's much that Blue can do. They are just simply not winning the fights. And that's surprising, too. Because, again, I do still like the Necromancer in a team fight, but maybe it's just too slow. Like, I think the meta's sped up a little bit, and Harbinger might just not be tanky enough anymore. Of course, there's a big protection uptime nerf, which, of course, helps against condition damage, too, because of Dark Defiance. Protection on Harbinger is 20% colony damage reduction. It might just be a little bit too slow now. You know, Elite Elixir a lot weaker, of course, with the boon duration here. Maybe this is just low value at this point. I think that may actually end up being the case. I was definitely on the fence about it, reading the notes, but now seeing it in action, I'm definitely looking towards, yeah, Harbinger may not be delivering the value that it used to. I don't think 55 are going to play it, so maybe it does very much depend on execution and, of course, the composition kind of built around that. Like, you know, having the Untamed in there, having, like, a really strong damage core baked into what 55 have, right, might make that, you know, a lot more effective. Might make it a lot more effective for sure, but, yeah, blue team are simply not able to contest into these team fights. Because, again, you know, as we see here, it's just not enough. They aren't able to punch through. The sustain on red is good enough. They have the damage. They have the team fight potential. They have the coordination. And they have the chase. They just have that kill potential. They've got that bite that you need to secure kills. And 290 to 27, there's no way out of this, I don't think. You know, we have this attempted 1v1. It's not a good 1v1 for Sin, though, of course. It's power into Condi Spectre. Not where you want to be. Azaz chasing down Fly at the same time. Kran is going to move in to support the team there, so they can certainly drive away the two red players, at least for the time being. But Blades will now move in, and honestly, that's not a bad 3-3 to be fair, actually, for red. Looks like they're just going to try and hold it while the Spectre rotates, and they rotate the Tempest in. But they straight up actually win the 2v3 almost here, actually. Fly is solo. They win the 2v3. Azaz and Kill, they just get the job done. It does get revived by Kran, but yeah, that can't happen, right? You cannot be losing a 2v3. That should not have happened whatsoever. And yeah, the 3v3 is now looking catastrophic, actually, right now for Blue 2. Yeah, Invisible already so pressured here. Cran tries to land a fat heal, will be able to do so with the water. Oh, juicy 5,000 AoE heal. Oh, that is tasty right there. Of course, then combos with the Aura 2 for even more very powerful ability, but it's not enough. Invisible and Sin so solo. They're trying to push for a kill onto Syndra, but Syndra's got cooldowns, has the Urshield, has to watch the pain away, probably has an Obsidian Flesh coming up as well. It just isn't going to work. A shocking aura will be generated too after this overload comes through, and that will make things even harder. Yeah, Obsidian Flesh is up here for our red Tempest. This is just not good enough. And you can see that red team is just slowly winning the game. This might be time to look at something else. I'm not sure if there's a super crazy game elsewhere. Oh, looks like this one. Oh, hang on. To be fair, actually, we do have a bit of a game on our hands over here with 55 into our red team. Into fell off a tree or something. Certainly maybe a good early game for Red. Look here, they did actually get maybe a flurry of kills early on. However, rank 55 have certainly started to become a little bit more commanding here. Ooh, Draza has a bit of trouble there, gets a revival. Ooh, that was a juicy res there from Frey. It's 1v2 though, so Frey honestly maybe needs to get back and babysit him because there's actually not that much left right now for Draza. He's in a lot of trouble here. He's got one well to port away and tries to leap. Can he make this? Can he get this disengage? Looks like he may just barely get it with the skin of his teeth. Nice juke there, can of course take that back. But Asdome just absolutely going crazy with the amount of pressure. Tries to line of sight that Deadeye, but Draza in a very tough spot there. Is there any peel from the team? Not really, actually. Blue team are not in a position to save this. There is a shadow set, maybe a Shazam into an elite well to get away here, but this is so hard. Draza kiting for everything he's worth. Has a little bit of Shroud, tries to hold on, does have a Shazam. Oh my god, what a jump, but no, it's not enough. He was trying to bait out there with a Shazam, tried to bait people a little bit, but it wasn't quite enough, unfortunately. Asdome gets the job done and finds that kill. Nice play there by Draza. Not going to be good, but oh yeah, Frey is available. And honestly, this is not a good map for Red. You've got to bear that in mind too. It's a very team fight oriented map, and we saw that in the games versus Barcode, right? Like when there were team fights, they do have problems. They don't have that support. They don't have, you know, the same level of sustain that 55 has here. You have to bear that in mind, right? So you do have to consider that for sure. And that bell comes up. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, I mean, blue team almost a little bit sloppy here. Like, we're not able to contest that bell. Zan in a bit of trouble here, actually. Red team actually get the bell. They were not quite ready to rotate over there. They had one player, like Frey, was in position to contest it, but they were not able to sustain that. And actually, Red have them on the bit of a back foot right now, actually. This is a little bit spicy. 55 in trouble here. Again, this Catalyst just really on that warpath. I think 55 are now stabilizing here a little bit. They're trying to make the stabilization happen. But yeah, they just had that slightly slow rotation and got punished for it very heavily. Like, this is certainly a big advantage of the red team's comp because they're so fast. They can very quickly punish slightly sloppy rotations from their opponent. Now, Draza does get over there and fully captures that node, but Asdome contesting into it will attempt that 1v1. Misha in the downstate will get cleaved out. I believe there is not a revival able. It's up in 2 seconds. Can Misha, and that's being held by Zan. I like that hold from Zan. Here comes, yeah, cancels the Earth Overload for that stability. Does land it. Yeah, very nice play there by Zan and Frey. So what he did was there, Earth Overload gives you stability, so he used it, cancelled it immediately. You keep the stab, then use the glyph, right? Very key abilities there, makes it much harder to interrupt with 4 stacks of stability, essentially. And Zan, at the same time, that was a very key synergy. Zan was holding the revival so it didn't get cleaved out. Did, of course, eat a lot of damage for that, but now that Misha's back, he should be able to maybe peel Zan out, but Zan still does go down. Is there enough damage to now confirm that kill? That's kind of the price of getting that hold. Draza! And this is what I did tell you. I told you guys earlier about Asdome in this 1v1. Asdome wins this Spectre 1v1. I've been watching a few dailies, right? Daily ATs, and he's been playing into very good Spectres, playing into Sind, right, playing into Fly, right, playing into Maya, and he wins this 1v1 on Deadeye, and he wins it into arguably the best Deadeye, Spectre duels in the game right now, Draza, and suddenly Red Team, they've got themselves a 2-cap. I've got to take it back. I actually thought this was going to be quite one-sided, actually, because of how dominant 55 has been so far, but it's not. Red Team are absolutely blasting right now. The Roach Gamers, Team Roach, Team Fell Off the Tree, are absolutely going insane right now, and I think they've found a bit of an opening in the meta. They have found a bit of an opening in the meta. in this regard. I do think it is worth noting that blue team is playing motor comp, whereas red team isn't. I think that actually does come into play here, to be honest. It's actually nearly motor comp. They'd have to drop one Spectre. They have everything else. Basically, in Mastery of the Arena, you can't spec stack, right? You can't have like 2 Spectres or 2 Tempest or whatever. You have to actually mix it up. But yeah, red now going to get into play here. Boyce dead and Zan dead. This is huge for red. They have all 5 players alive. And again, Jeff just generates so much value on the map, actually, keeping these players there. It's going to be a 50-point bell. This is going to be hard for Draza to hold, actually. We have double Spectre against him. Frey moving in will be able to probably hold on here, at least for a good amount of time. Is there any more DPS available for red? No, there isn't. But actually, they may not need it. Yes, here comes Azam. They get that kill. Frey does not. He actually has the glyph. He can't land it, though. There's going to be way too much thief shit. Oh, yeah, no, there's no way. Not with, like, 3 thieves. That is impossible. That's going to be another bell for red. Red are going to actually go big here. Oh, Frey holding. But no, he can't. Yeah, he has to cancel Ursula. He can't do that. Because Ursula means you can't contest. Oh, one red side does get absolutely obliterated by Boyce, though. That was a lot of damage. Ah, but the shallow grave recovers it. Red team, though, still with map dominance, with map control. Over here, red now taking some time to get that node again. They are a little bit worried about the team fight. They know the Temmers is a problem, right? They know that Temmers is a huge issue to them. Looks like Faith are going to try and go for this hold. It's not going to be easy, though. Yeah, that's too much. Yeah, that was maybe even a little greedy, to be frank. That's going to be a 50-point bell for blue, and that might actually get 55 back where they want to be, particularly with that excellent revival from Frey onto Misha just as he goes down to there. And that should retain this quite nicely. There's a lot of damage from that Catalyst, and again, Jeff just absolutely pumping in this situation. They're absolutely going crazy. Yeah, 50-point bell for 55. That's very nice, and that certainly gives them a bit of breathing room to get back into this. Not game over, though, by any stretch of the imagination. Draza able to shove away Red Spectre for that 1v1. Meanwhile, we have Azadon, sorry, not Azadon, we have the Needler, right? 3-3 Needler into Boyce 1v1. Boyce fighting for that decap. Untamed actually very handy, by the way, in the 1v1. Not only great for damage output, it can competently 1v1 very nicely, actually. Has solid sustain, condition management, and of course, excellent damage output and tankiness. You can see that here, right? The Spectre having difficulty. You'd be surprised at how good it really is 1v1, actually. Untamed very nice here. Oh, Jeff does finally fall, though, actually. The Harbinger combined with Misha is a little bit too much. Ooh, Misha gonna bleed Jeff as well. I think this is a good call. Misha knows that he's not really big value elsewhere on the map. Because where are they going, right? Is he gonna push far? Is he gonna push mid? No, he doesn't really need to be there. We've got the Harbinger, the Tempest, and the Spectre. I really like this decision from Misha. Just to fully bleed there and generate even more down because that Catalyst is a problem. For 55, they're really having difficulties with that. A lot of teams are really struggling to deal with Jeff, pretty much, who's been really popping off this tournament for sure, actually. But yeah, that's going to be it. 55 are going to recover it. Definitely looked a little bit dicey there. It absolutely did. But in the end, 55, they grab that second bell. They get back map control. That they eliminate the Roach, the Roachalist. And they're going to close it out with Boyce getting this kill onto the Spectre. Meanwhile, we actually have the Blade Sworn and the other Spectre bleeding out here. That is going to be the end of the game. It's 500 to 402. 55 get the job done and win. That is it. Lost all meaningful fights, still win. How? Rotation, pretty much, is the way it's going to be. And that's what you'll see. That's what you'll see with the blue team here, right? Okay, like they're all very experienced, so they're going to be very good at understanding how to win conquest, right? Even if they lose the fights, they're still in a good spot. Simple as that. But anyway, here we go. This is our elimination round here. We have 55 into Moritz. We have Alcazaro into Syndrina. We have... I think this is going to be the one to watch here, actually. We're going to look at this game here. It's going to be Fell from the Tree versus Team Barcode. And we have Rank 55 Dragons. Will probably be into Syndrina's team, Ultra Scuffed, in the semifinals. And it will be... Oh, I think this kind of second half of the bracket is the spicy one, right? We have a brutal rematch with Barcode into Fell from the Tree. And then after that, we almost certainly have either Barcode into Frenchies or Fell from the Tree into Frenchies. Very exciting, actually. Very, very cool. Let's have a look at what we have here. Oh, this is another excellent team, actually. This is Avekla Temps, I believe, or a similar roster to that. We have Ebrush, Belzadar, Lefrere, Azu, and Alcazaro here. Ooh, another variant of this Chronomancer build, perhaps. Actually, yeah, here we go. We actually have, well, a Precog, well, of Calamity, well, of Eternity, Feedback, and Gravity all running that similar setup that we saw Misha, the Master of Disaster, playing with. Lefrere is going to be rocking out the Spectre, just the Conditioned Spectre, and we saw just standard there as well. And we have Avekla Bells on the Power Herald. He's a big fan of this build. I think he definitely loves this stuff, so it's good to see him back where he loves to be. And Ebrush, what's he going to play? Actually, let's see what he's going to go for. A bit of a relog going on here. Untamed relogging there. There's actually one thing I want to point out about Zan's build, actually. Was really cool. Is that he was running Rune of the Sunless. I actually like that choice. That means when he drops his Elite Elixir, it's a fear too. Guys, imagine that. So, Elite Elixir on Harbinger, five annoying Condis, Might, Boons share everywhere, all that kind of crazy shit, and it also fears you. Like, it's like an AoE fear as well. Crazy, right? Very cool tech choice there from Zan. And of course, it gives you some tankiness goodness, gives you condition damage, reduction as well. It's pretty good. Yeah, very cool team, actually. Support guard coming in here with Molding Azrai there as well. And who is this gamer going to be? What's this guy rolling with? It's going to be maybe another Rev, maybe, or something like that. Let's see. Oh, and Lefrere going for the Catalyst, actually. With the Dolyak Rune and Marauder Amulet with the hammer. Kran says, what's the other game? Yeah, I think I probably will take a look at the other game. We'll just have a look at the opener here before we go ahead and move on. What is this guy going to play, though? Nothing, apparently. Definitely an interesting comp. Maybe it's going to be a Spectre here, because they do lack that Thief. They're going to get severely out-mobilitied here by the red team here. No SSD. Little bit unfortunate there. Not ideal. Yeah, I'm working on that Avalanche PTR. I'm trying to force them to play with their actual names, but it's easier said than done, trust me. I'm working on that one. I am working on it. But there you go. There you go. Well, there's still... Dude, it's 4v5. And yeah, red team already pick up a kill on the Crow. A bit of an unusual comp. Let's go and take a look at the other game here. Because again, I think the other game is... Oh, actually, it's not even started yet. It's not even started yet. So we can't look at the other game. So I'll wait for that one. Oh, nice. I think it just started now. All right. Here we go. This is the match that we're waiting for here. Yeah, Kran, keeping the top secret tech safe, obviously. But here we go. This is honestly a match that I'm super excited to see here. Wait, isn't this on the same map as well? If I'm not mistaken. Isn't this a perfect rematch? It was on Colosseum, and of course it was won by Team Rocha, or rather Team Fell from Tree. It absolutely is. And here on the red team, it's going to be Enigma on the Power Herald, running Invocation, Devastation, and Herald. Slight build difference here, of course. Don't run Assassin's Presence anymore, because that trait doesn't give you Ferocity. Going for Notoriety for a bit more might. Just for free, a bit more damage there across the board. Sword with our staff. Another Spectre, another Herald. Again, this Bunker coming up from ArenaNet here with the Avatar Amulet, Rune of Melandru. This is a build I'm a little bit uncertain about. I think maybe we can see red team just try and play a little bit more of a two-node style here and try and bunker down a little bit harder. Really bunker down hard. Okay? And try and make that work. And then, of course, just force these team fights, right? Like with this Harbinger that we see from Demolish, with carrying Amulet, Rune of Ore, with the mighty King Toad's Dagger. Love to see that there. With the Staff, and of course, the Pistol Dagger. Tempest from Drace is the normal setup here. Going to be the Fire Tempest from Morconi Cleanse. A lot of times I'm playing Earth these days, so interesting to see that, actually. Bit of a slight differential, bit of a switch up there. And there we go. We're going to see our weapon swapping going down here. And then here we go. Wait, is this actually going to be a Scepter? This is actually going to be a Scepter Tempest. Very interesting, actually. A lot of the time you always see Dagger, because it has evade on it and mobility and stuff like that, which makes it quite valuable. Of course, the shocking aura as well, which is a very powerful thing to be aura sharing. But yeah, there you go. Okay, now he goes for the swap, actually. Okay, there we go. Now we get into the swap. There it is. So we're not going to see that. That was almost a crazy meme there. But anyway, here we go. We see the Spectre, of course, running out there from Maya. And on the blue team, it's going to be Azadome. Okay, as we saw there. The Deadeye, which has been absolutely crushing. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, my God. Just gets the snipe, immediately getting that kill. Okay, we saw Enigma really going for that kill onto Feifei, but no. The Deadeye is free casting. I think they've got to play around this. They've got to do something about this Deadeye. Like, Asno is just like fucking farming everyone. This is crazy. And Red Team just not responding very well to the Deadeye, I think. Oh, man. That's crazy. Yeah, that's correct. That bug is still in the game, Alex. Yeah, you can do like a transmute, and it will... I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a secret. That actually works all the time. It's a semi-game breaking bug. Hasn't been fixed yet. But... Yeah. Yeah. But, anyway. Anyway, guys... You can do it on Bladesworn as well, by the way, as I understand it. But anyway, guys, on the blue team, of course, we see the Bladesworn from Feifei, we see Azadome, we see 3-3 Needler, we see the Rochalist, Jeff, and of course Miaz here on a Pagoda. And yeah, blue, just looking strong here. Like, you know, the first game actually was a pretty intense match, but this is domination from blue, right? This is like, this is big domination. It's tough stuff. It's very, very tough stuff. I think this is going to be a clean win for blue. You might want to go and take a look at another game already, because this is not looking good whatsoever. Again, I think we see this attempted 3-node style here from Red, and I think it's being punished. They committed to this pretty aggressive far push. They got completely shut down by the Deadeye instantaneously. They're trying to now get rid of Feifei, but I think Feifei immediately starts cutting him. Might actually end up dying. There's no Thief available to rotate here. The Spectre's trying to move over, or sorry, the Deadeye is trying to move over as quick as possible, and there is some good healing here, and that actually might be enough to keep this Bladesworn alive. In fact, I believe it will be. Oh, look at that healing. Holy shit, that's a juicy heal coming through. And yeah, they actually fail that push. Now, Red now do get themselves a kill, but they may be about to lose their Herald here. Because again, this Deadeye is about to unleash some fury. Great barrier application though there from the Spectre with the allied thing there. That's very, very good. Okay. And now they're going to try and re-engage. And blue have been slowed down a little bit here. You know, Red have started to get a little bit of control in this game. It is going to be a little bit of a cat and mouse. Very much a cat and mouse thing here. With the red and blue team. If Red can stabilize and lock the map down, then they're going to be in a good spot. However, if the map stays very, very fluid and very dynamic, that's pretty disastrous. It's very, very good for the blue team here. Because, again, they have that extreme mobility. And Red now get themselves a double cap. And they've got some, you know, some good positions here. They have the Harbinger with the Tempest. Locked down on middle. Very, very nice. Have a decent 2v2 here as well. We have the Spectre and the Herald. They should be able to hold on there. I think we have, yeah, this Deadeye is so annoying, though. Look at this. The Deadeye's just going to hunt down this Herald. Yeah, oh my god, Azadome, what can you do? What can he do? I mean, is there a potential revival? I honestly don't think so. It's just not going to happen. Like, Azadome is actually destroying the red team right now. What a gamer. Right, you know, he is one of those players who doesn't always play on like a super try-hard team in the monthly AT. Doesn't have a static roster, but he's one of those players that you'll just see pop up occasionally in the monthly, even in tournament play, high-level tournament play, and just farm, right? And he loves Deadeye, right? Like, obviously, you know, he's perfectly competent on Spectre, perfectly competent on playing Daredevil as well, but Deadeye is his true love. Right, okay, that is what he likes. He's a big Deadeye fan. And I think if you ever give Azadome the chance to unleash Deadeye, he just goes crazy. He unleashes. He just completely... Look, you know... The Bunker Herald is useless. It can't survive. Of course, the unblockable nature of that last in a strike just rips it. Like, you can't block that. You can't projectile block that. It just tears through it. Another revival comes through, I believe. You know, I think there was a down state for blue, but it got back up again. Tempest Drace now down. And this is just not good. I mean, the points are very, very even, but they won't be for long. We have that kill secured on the Bunker. Bunker gets reset again. It can now be jeweled by the Spectre and not decapped for a long time. Blue team now getting a more cleanups here as well, eliminating that Tempest. This is pretty bad, right? This is like a very, very tough situation for, yeah, and another kill. Azam, what a monster. This guy's a beast. What an absolute machine. Look at this gamer. He wants more. He wants Demolish. Will he find it? Here we go. First person. FPS game. Let's go. Can he find more? Spectre's next. Enigma's next. Here we go. Full FPS. Here it is. Can Enigma hold on? It's going to be tough. He's now essentially in a 1v3, or just 1v2, actually, as the Bladesworn has left. Enigma trying to hold on, but no way. There's just no way. Yeah, and just as I'm already leaving, just basically bleeding out these players. That's just a flat kill there. Drace maybe attempting some kind of revival. Does have the glyph, but it's going to be hard. I mean, I think the interrupt is going to be too powerful there, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't manage to get anything off there, unfortunately. The bleed out does happen on the Herald and, of course, the Harbinger there. This is a triple cap, and this is GG. Deadeye. Deadeye absolutely popping off right now. Azadome destroying. I think we honestly might want to look at another game. I think that this is a stumbling block. I hate to say it, gamers, but I just feel that Red has stumbled. They haven't been able to answer this composition. They haven't been able to find the way to play around it. I think their own composition perhaps doesn't work super well. And to be frank, I do really like this Catalyst pick as well. I think that if you're going to look at two really key builds here, honestly, I would... It's weird, but I almost feel like the key builds are even not necessarily the Spectres. I am loving the Catalyst, Bladesworn, and Deadeye here, actually, in particular. I think Feifei has delivered ridiculous value, not only as a duelist, but also as a 2v2er and a 3v3. Look at that! Another kill! Red team, they're going to go for a relog. I mean, they're maybe going for something else. They're trying to try something. They know this is elimination. They've got to do something. Trying a relog. But it's not enough. But yeah, I'm loving this play from Jeff, to be honest. On the Roach list here. It's so strong. Again, Feifei, I think, performing extremely well on Bladesworn, and Azadome just dominating. Right? Just dominating right now. On this Deadeye. Shadow Arts here, Trickery, and Deadeye. That's the build. If you want to play it, you want to farm in Ranked, you want to get in. We're going to see another relog, just more damage. Going to Cryptstick here, like with the Herald, just to try and find something to destabilize this somehow and get back into this, but I think it's a little bit too little too late, really. How's Ranger? I mean, Untamed is seeing play, so Untamed is pretty good. 3 Herald for 1 Deadeye. Yeah, I mean, they're going to try and kill the Deadeye. They're just going to train it down, but again, I don't think you can do this. Like, you know, like when you have a very rotational comp, it's hard to get points back when you're behind. Blue are just going to be annoying. They're just going to troll, and the game ends. They're just going to be really annoying, hold one, contest everything, decap permanently. Like, even if Red start winning, it's too late. Way too late. That's how it is. Deadeye just going crazy. This game is over. Do we have anything else going right now? We actually have... Oh, never mind. We actually have the end of those games. It's going to be Rank 55 versus the Syndrina team. It's going to be a rematch of Ultra Scuffed versus 55, basically. And then it's almost certainly going to be another rematch of the Frenchies into Fell from the Tree. So we'll see how that one's going to go. But, yeah, this is just GG. And we do actually see a kill, and the additional Herald, of course, is really bringing the pain. It's absolutely bringing some serious DPS, and they may be able to even find the Catalyst after that. Of course, there may still be defensive corners left over. No Earthshield, actually, does still have this one charge. He won't be able to use it anymore, but should be able to hold on. And yeah, we actually see that. Yeah, they turn it as well. So much edge. And that cleave. Look at the cleave on this Catalyst, right? Look at this damage. Look at that DPS. Oh my god. That is madness. Guys, I figured out the plan. Everything that gets deleted in PvE gets good in PvP. Like Warrior, deleted in PvE. Now it's sick in PvP with Bladesworn. Catalyst gets a negative 10% damage trait, and now it's sick in PvP as well. Huge. Giga Chad Hammer Catalyst setup, guys. Wow. There's the build if anyone's interested. Of course, Staunch Auras for that stability uptime. Spectacular Severe for excellent boon access. Might, Vigor, Fury, and Resistance. And then Energized Elements over there as well. That's how it is. Hey, Ricky, the Prime. Thanks so much. Really appreciate the Prime. There you go. Yeah, Vindicator got wrecked. Completely wrecked, actually. Whoa. Okay, your G... Well, oh, wow. Very funny. Your G2A purchase. Below, you can find the products purchased from XX Mystic Builds God XX via our site. For our regular customers, you're also eligible to use the Mystic Builds. Nobody knows what that is. Okay, funds to freely for your tournaments as part of our promotion. Okay, we hope you're happy with your purchase and make sure to leave a positive review. You're listening to the G2A ticket. Thank you very much indeed, Rinla, for the big gold. Okay, the big gold. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much indeed. 125.6969. Thank you very much indeed. And once again, I actually do want to really hype this up. I want to mega hype up right now, guys. Masters of the Arena coming up this week, next week, depending when you're watching this on YouTube potentially, right? Get in there, get hyped. Friday, the 29th, 30th, and 31st, starting at about 6 p.m. BST. Get excited for the best, most immersive, action-packed, well-produced, epic PvP tournament in the history of Guild Wars 2. You better be ready for it, gamers. I know I certainly am. Let's go. Let's make it happen. It is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to unscuff my green screen. It's going to be like, we've got some great teams, great matches lined up. Okay, tell your friends, mark it in your calendars, because you are not going to want to miss this. Like I said before, I really want to reiterate this. It is an absolute labor of love. It is my greatest work yet, by far. Everyone involved has put their heart and soul into it, right? They absolutely have. They've gone all out. The artists, the developers, everyone involved has gone all out for this to make this the ultimate experience for the community in Guild Wars 2. I really hope you guys enjoy it, and I genuinely mean that. This, in a lot of ways, is... This is my love letter to Guild Wars 2, right? It really is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next set of games. Here we go. Temple of the Silent Storm. And here we go. It's going to be on the red team, Ultra Scuffed, Kran on Tempest. We have, of course, Goku on the Bladesworn, Gauntlet on Harbinger, and the double Spectre here from Invisible Fly and Syndrana. And on the blue team, it's going to be the Chronomus again. Misha playing this. He's continued to play it, even to very powerful roster. Of course, they did win this matchup very convincingly last time. Boyce on Untamed, Frey on Support Tempest, Draza on the Spectre, and Zan on the Harbinger. So the additional Spectre for red can be nice on this map. This is a map where you want to be very fast. It's a huge map, so being able to rotate quickly and take these smaller fights, this could actually be good. Like, red team might be happy about this, but again, to us, when it comes to skirmishing, you got to bear in mind, this is 55's playstyle. They love skirmishing. It's their favorite thing to do. So they'll certainly be ready to kind of play into that and get that done. And already they're looking for a kill on Goku. A massive Gravity Well elite skill coming out from Draza. Not quite enough to find the kill, though. And yeah, Draza, I actually like this prioritization. Knows that realistically committing to the kill is low value, that they probably won't get Goku. And knows that he feels confident in that 1v1 flat. So caps the node and then just simply chases that 1v1. And 55 taking that slightly early lead. Frey a little pressured here on middle. Tornado comes through from Kran, but stability is good on our blue team here. Ooh, and oh, goodness me. Kran gets brutally counter-pressured. Has an Earth Shield and some evasion left over here on Dagger. Able to get away. Does have Earth Shield still. It's going to go for it. Oh, tries to hold on. And they're able to survive quite nicely. And Frey in downstate. Again, never underestimate blue team in team fights. They always do a good job. Sorry, red team in team fights, rather. They're very, very proficient at these team fights. They are able to get rid of the support of Frey. Very nice. Get themselves a node, but what are they now going to do? How are they going to rotate here? Bear in mind that the big strength of blue, they have a lot of duelists. They really do. We have Misha. Again, kind of 1v1 on this, 1v1 on the Chronomonster. Boyce, more than capable of 1v1ing and holding outnumbered even on the Untamed. Draza can 1v1 on the Spectre. And even the Harbinger from Zan can hold a 1v1. So much map presence and map control. Now, Draza is down, but that might get glyphed here. Let's see if it is. Ooh, does get interrupted. Let's see, is it going to land? Nice hold by Zan, and it does. And great line of sight there. Line of sight behind that pillar, so the headshot can't land. And, of course, the Siphon's coming through. And then Zan again. I just love that. What a beautiful team synergy there. Zan knows, I need to hold that. Frey, I know I can get this res. I'm just going to chill. Going to line of sight it. Going to land that revival. And then that's exactly what happens. They restabilize, and they're back. What could have been a really nice momentum moment for red was just beautifully played by 55, and it gets them not really that much on the board. They're able to lock down middle, but this fight might even be turning against the red team currently. It's a nasty combo here. Draza, very pressured, does still have some good abilities available, though. Has a port, has some shroud left over, so should be able to hold on. Zan now reinforcing that too. Should allow Draza to reset in and even go on the offensive. Looking for a kill onto Fly by the looks of this. Ooh, that's a big vital rush here, huge CC. A lot of tankiness, though, from Reds. They're not quite able to get it. Looks like they are going to kind of zero in on that Bladestorm, but Kran moves in right at the last second to bring some big healing and stabilizes 3v3, but yeah, and 55, they're just pretty damn ahead. Draza might die here and is going to go down. So the colossal damage output is huge. There's no revival available. Frey all the way over middle. So a nice big win, actually. That's a good win. But the thing is, it's not a big win. It might not be enough to really bust through this. Look at what we have. The Chronomancer is still here. And that means they're not going to get this node. He's going to be annoying. He's going to troll. He's going to be a real pain in the ass, right? Right over here. And you can see that. This is not really going on. And Red don't get a map edge. Boyce just decaps here as well. He wants him in the fight. Again, a subtle but powerful decision. He knows that, yeah, there's going to be an outnumber, right? Like Sin going for this buff, forcing away Zan. As an outnumber right now on middle. Frey 1v2 needs some help. Zan is rotating to that, though, so that leaves Boyce to still contest either upper buff or, of course, this node over here. And then we have this 1v1. Again, Draza, I think, will eventually win this 1v1 on Spectre into the base one over time. So again, 55, just lots of decisions simultaneously going on there, working out for them. Boyce not full cabbing, pushing in there. Zan dropping down at the same time as Boyce contests, and then that also peels out Frey here in middle at the same time. The complexity of Conquest really being displayed here, I think. Some very elegant decision-making from 55, just denying any advantage. And again, yeah, Draza wins this 1v1. He's found that good 1v1. And here we go. This is now very problematic. Like, Goku may even die here. He's in a lot of trouble. He may end up falling in this situation. Teamfight is happening, and that might be a strength for our red team. Again, the Chronomancer maybe not ideal in these teamfights. Certainly annoying, though. Gravwell, a great skill. Precog, excellent too. Feedback simultaneously, providing a lot of value. But they do maybe lack a little bit of punch in this 3v3. But then again, the enemy team doesn't have a crazy amount of punch either. Like, Red doesn't have insane DPS. Because, of course, Cindy can't really stick in this fight. He's not as tanky as some of the other specs here. And Kran taking the brunt of this damage here. Certainly trying to survive as best as they can. Syndra now looking to maybe get something onto Boyce. Goes in hard, goes in hot to try and find some kind of kill, but it's easier said than done. Boyce is very pressured, and that is a disadvantage of Untamed. Untamed actually is very... it is quite squishy, actually. Can be focused, but it's simply not happening. And again, we just see 39 to 245. Fly, very, very low here as well. Draza, again, just doing fantastically in this 1v1. Honestly, this could actually easily become a 1v2 as Draza, well, never mind, he actually died. Sin punches through the armor there. Draza's not able to do too much, but yeah, they were both pretty low, so there was some actually pretty risky business there for both those players. Boyce now arrives. Could he actually kill both of them? It's actually very risky for Red to try and stomp this out, I think, because again, now we have Boyce in play, Draza as well, and they get a kill on Sind, and yeah, then Frey revives at the same time. Oh, just nothing working out there. I think we'll go ahead and take a look at the other game, because Cinder then outset now, Fly about to die, top buff about to be taken by Blue. Oh no, there's no way out for Red at this stage, almost impossible. 2 kills on the board, soon to be a 2-cap here with Boyce. Here are the builds, guys, so you can see this is the Chronomancer from Misha, the Master of Disaster. That's the setup. And Dra's just playing the normal, the standard Spectre build. Zan playing Rune of the Sunless. For an AoE Fear and AoE Poison on Elite, making that elixir even more lethal than it already is. Frey, standard support Tempest. Standard support Tempest, and Boyce, the standard Untamed builds. Oh yeah, very, very tough. But I think it's going to be looking at the other semifinals. Let's take a look over here. Let's see. Can the Frenchies get their revenge? Can they make it happen? Oh, and already, oh, Jeff is down to here on the Roach list. Is there a Shallow Grave? There is not a Shallow Grave or any kind of revival there. It's just the Deadeye instead. And that is going to get shut down. Let's see what Red do. Now, this is not the best node. Not the best game to play 2 nodes, obviously. Because Temple, it's got 5 objectives. We have our upper buff. We have Stillness. We have Tranquility. There's actually a lot of objectives to contest. And that does make this kind of 2-node bunker down style hard to do. However, it does appear that that's what Red's going to try. They're going to say, you know what? You're really fast. Okay. Ooh. And Azaz is going to play Bunker Herald. So they're going to really lean on 2-node then. They're going to go hard on 2-node. Because now we have Tempest, which is, again, kind of tanky, can hold on, can certainly hold out numbered for a while with another relatively tanky class like a Bladestorm, like a Spectre. We have Bunker Rev from Azaz coming out here, as you can see. The Avatar Amulet. It does get decut there. It's now 1v2, but Projectile Destruction should keep him pretty healthy against the Deadeye, at least for a little while, until one of the Spectres is able to arrive. And we have the Blades one again, very good at holding, and they get Jeff. Yeah, they're going to fish for a decap here while they're contesting elsewhere. And oh, this is scary. This is, in my opinion, this is actually a very, very scary situation. Red team need to get ahead quickly. They need to be in a really good position before the bell comes up, in my opinion. Because, sorry, the bell? Before the buffs come up. If those buffs come up, then all of a sudden, there's going to be a lot of ground to cover, and it's going to be hard for Red Team to do that, right? However, they find themselves another kill. They're focusing on 2 nodes. They are actually contesting the 3rd at the same time and winning here, so they slightly out-rotate their opponents. That's very nice, but I want to see them build a lead here. Otherwise, they are going to fall behind, or certainly struggle, or their lead will diminish when those buffs come out. Oh, can Azaz hold on? He's trying to bunker this down. Can he get a little bit more healing? No, he can't, actually. Not able to get the job done there, and Azaz gets shut down. And that is what happens when Red Team spread themselves quite thin. You know, that is that 3rd node coming into play, the mobility of those Thieves. And the thing is, this is the issue with that play. They aren't able to actually cap this node. We already see the rotation from the Spectre and from the Catalyst. And yeah, look at this matchup again. We've seen this one before, guys. We've seen this one before. Look at that. It's the Tempest and the Spectre locked in this 2v2. Now, another Spectre does move in for Red. That makes things a little bit better. Like, 3v3s are nice, and with the Blades one coming in, that's a good, you know, 4v4 is going to be good, but it's going to be too slow. Like, they're so fast. Red are just too slow. They can't keep up with this. Can they somehow sustain enough? It's going to be really hard to do. There is the Reflect up there. Oh, and they nearly turn around actually onto the Blue Spectre. Is the Blue Spectre going to be able to hold on? No, they are actually not. That revival is going to be basically impossible to get, I think. That's a very good victory for Red Team. They're just barely making that happen, but already we see this very quick rotation in a 1v3 into Azaz. Azaz on the bunker. He's got to try and hold this. It looks like he is going to make it work, actually. Yeah, it's just barely going to happen, I believe. Yeah, very nice there from our Red Team, and they are getting a bit of a lead. Ooh, if they were to get that upper buff, there's no way they can get this into 3 Thieves, surely. No, they're going to have to simply assign a player. Bladeswan's going to be the choice. I do like that. That frees the support to rotate. And, of course, Bladeswan is still very confident in the 1v1 and can hold outnumbered as well. Scary into the Deadeye, though. The Deadeye really potent in that 1v1 at the same time. Meanwhile, we do have this respawn here driving away the Red Team away from this position. But the Spectre trying to hold on until the Tempest gets it. And there we go. And let's see, I kind of want to see Red try and force a 3v3 somewhere on the map. They've got a 2v2, but it's a bit, they're a bit not good. Like, they have like a support or bunker on each node, and then they have a Spectre, right? And that means that against a double DPS, it's actually a little bit spooky, and you can see that now. Like, Red are going to have a bit of trouble. They're going to start running out of juice, and the amount of damage output from Blue eventually might overwhelm them. Now, it is a static position, so in theory, it's okay. For Red, but the problem is that, again, like, this 2v2 is not good. There's too much damage here, right? You got the Spectre and the Blades. It's too much. And eventually this 2v2 does destabilize, and Blue are going to get the job done there, right? And this is going to force more rotations out of the Red Team here. Which, again, is, I think, quite problematic, actually, for the Red Team. Losing those 2 kills, that is bad. Right, that's a potential top buff secured for Blue Team, if they're able to rotate there and get... Yeah, in fact, they are going to get it. Ugh. Yeah, that's very, very bad. You know, the Warrior kind of knows that can't really stay here to us. There's going to be about 1 million Thieves swarming all over it. And yeah, Blue Team now getting back into it. They found those good 2v2s. They found it where those supports were just not delivering value. Support in a 2v2, it's honestly not that great, to be honest. It does give you a lot of problems. If you are fighting, if you are in that fight, because typically you just don't have the DPS to punch them. Oh yeah, Blue Team now getting that double cap, and they're holding it too. The Thieves moving in will be able to drive away the Red Spectre, denying that cap in every possible sense. And Blue looking pretty good here, looking pretty strong. And here we go. Blue about to push. But now what are Red going to do? Red need to find the answer. They are playing 3 here still, and let's see if they're able to actually pull it off. It's not going to be easy. They forced the issue here, so they're back in it, getting it back to parity. But how are they going to answer these nodes? Like, that's what they've got to do. Oh, I like this kill. This could be a really big... I really want to see this get cleaved. If this gets revived, it's catastrophic, I think, for the Red Team. Because, again, we're coming up to this moment where both buffs are going to spawn, both Stillness and Tranquility. No! This has got to die! Oh, no! The Gravwell misses! Ah, this is bad. This is very bad for Red. Because now they've got to contest 5 objectives into 3 Thieves. And that's very much good luck with that, right? Good fucking luck. And now, we are going to see this. Now, the saving grace here is that if the bunkers end up in 1v1s, that is good for Red. So, if it ends up being that some of the damage dealers of Blue end up locked in these very, very agonizing 1v1s, then that's okay, right? But the problem is that if blue are smart, they aren't going to let that happen. They're simply going to out-rotate and kill. They're just going to murder everything. So we do... the Blades one is locked in a bit of a scuff 1v1 here, actually. This is pretty good, actually, for our Red Spectre here. That should be pretty damn good. And we actually do have the second cap going through now from kill. But then again, it has been intercepted by a Blades one, so not just yet. Red do manage to find a little bit of a lead, though. But it's definitely much a knife edge currently. Like, very good rotation here. The Thieves being matched. Oh, no, gets knocked. Oh, my God. No. That knockback getting the decap. The Shadow Gust. Absolutely disgusting. Tempest moves in. That does lock the Tempest in, but it does keep the Deadeye off the map as well. So not entirely awful there. Actually, it could be a lot worse in this kind of situation. Meanwhile, we have Favor just continuing this 1v1. The pressure is actually very high on the Spectre. Easier said than done to hold. But Red still just barely keeping ahead by holding the one node. Ooh, and this is going to be a double cap, actually. Tempest was left unattended. Of course, hard to break through for the Thieves. And as long as these Red players here can hold for a little bit longer, if they can hold this 2v3, if they can hold the cap, this is massive. Ooh, but I don't think they can. No, they can't. Yeah, a very swift rotation from Blue. And, ooh, Glyph. Oh, the Glyph lands. That's massive. Because now this is a stable 3v3. Ooh, yeah, Blue has to leave. Is it going to be a kill? No way. That's really big. Bladeshorn looking for it. 800 health. Gets it. Ooh, that's juicy. That's very juicy. It will end up into a concession here on that middle node. But Red now has a window. They've got a window here to make something work. In this situation, they've got one of those Thieves bleeding out. Can we see a decap? Ah, no, yeah. It has been matched here by this Spectre, so it's not going to happen just yet. But that does leave top buff open, I believe. Will it get yoinked? Yes, it will. That's huge, yeah. And that's what happens when you lose a player, right? One less player, much hard to contest. And now that single node is worth 2 for Red. Red feeling good about that. Player is now back on the board. Let's see where we're going to see this Spectre move. Where's the rotation going to go to? 2 players from Red on mid. That will be a huge cap if they could get it. Ooh, but that Thief is now... Oh, no, they have to concede it. Yeah, they concede it, and there is now a node over here as well. Oh, and that advantage will slowly start to bleed away. Raikkonen very, very low. 400 hit points. Is there some support here? Has a port managed to get that port? And here's the healing there from Syndrome, bringing that player back up. Ooh, they're going to turn it around now onto the Roachalist. Ooh, and that's a big immobilize there. Gets the cleanse and holds on. But that Catalyst so pressured. Oh, there corners though. There's nothing here. We have this barrier. It's a 3k barrier, which is juicy. But is it going to be enough? Good resustain here from Jeff. Very nice. And he gets out. And there's even a kill on Azaz, actually. Yeah, this Spectre manages to get rid of Azaz. Red going to get a node, but Blue has the double. They're slowly creeping back into it. Azaz now back on respawn. Ooh, Stillness. Still actually in play there. So that does keep Red Team on parity for a while. That's very nice, actually. Keeping that on parity is absolutely huge. Very, very big. They've got to hold this. Bladeshorn moving in. That's definitely good for Red. It's a good 2v2 for them to be in. It's going to be a 3v2, though. The Bunker Rev has to come here, I think, to help this. But there's going to be even more damage. All the Thieves are moving in. Another Thief coming into play over here. At the same time, all 3, like, mega DPS have arrived. Raikkonen in so much trouble. Has a Shadow Step. Has to pop it. Gets out of harm's way. Gets to the kite spot. Can take that back to Juke it as well. But now, Stillness is over. And now Red needs something. Now they've got to make something work. How are they going to do this? And Raikkonen in trouble. Has to try and kite away. Oh, the Tempest is moving in. But there is a kill there. And that cleave with that Catalyst is going to be absolutely colossal. Glyph does not land. Gets stunned. Can it be held for another charge? Let's see if it can. Where is it? It's up again now. But yeah, there's a bit too much. Ooh, is it going to land? No, interrupted again. And confirmed. Ooh, oh, the Tempest is going to die too, actually. Commits to that res very hard. And Blue now in the lead. There's the decap. Yeah, I like this actually from Red. The Warrior to not actually full cap. Knows that it won't work into the Catalyst. But yeah, the Thieves, very well noticed here, are already moving in position. Already moving over to the altar. Here we go. But can't get the decap because the Thieves are there. Intercepted. Middle node is going to get captured. Ooh, that's hard to shift as well. Catalyst and, of course, this Spectre. That's very hard to break through. Spectre here from Red's infinite jewel there. Bladestorm doing a great job of not dying. There's a lot of line of sighting here. Very well line of sight here by Feifei. I think this is really good gameplay from her, actually. Because what she's doing is just constantly abusing these pillars, and that actually minimizes the, well, the Spectre. Well, it was a Spectre. Now it's the Tempest. The Spectre effectiveness was minimized a lot for a long time, able to hold that 1v1. Tempest being here is a little awkward. There's no support on the map, but there's no team fight. So honestly, I think it actually is a pretty good place to be for that Tempest currently. Because, you know, they want damage on the map to break through stuff. So having the Tempest handle that is not bad. The problem is they have this bunker, right? They really don't have enough DPS to really muscle this. Ooh, and that's actually GG, I think. Yeah, that's GG. With this Warrior death, that's 5 points. That ends the game. That's the end of that. Red, they nearly had this. So it was a close rematch. But that's going to be GG well played. The Thief Star, the Thief Mobility style, gets the job done. They made it happen in Swiss. They're making it happen now. That's going to be finals. Finals right now for the blue team into rank 55. And that was a close game, actually, in Swiss. Let's see if we can see that replicated, or a 55 will maybe pull out a little bit more spice, a little bit more of a juicy composition there, adjust it, change a few things, and really go hard to guarantee their victory, to go all out. But that's GG well played. That's it. That is that. Again, you know, that the the dead eye, dude. The dead eye making it work. Making the magic happen, gamers. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and move over to the grand finals. It will be rank 55 Dragons versus Fell from the Tree, me and my recliner. We go way back. Some kind of very obscure reference there, but who knows. Anyway, gamers, why wait for the finals to come up? I really want to hit home. Gamers, Masters of the Arena is next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The best PvP tournament of all time. Cast by myself, by Helseth, by Nos. Maybe even a few surprises in there as well towards the end. Stay tuned for those surprises, my friends. You're not going to want to miss that, that's for sure. EU versus NA, the best of EU versus the best of NA. Big prizes, sponsored by Cure Rare Disease for a cash prize pool. And we're going to raise some money for charity at the same time, guys. We're going to get that going at the same time because I love Cure Rare Disease. Great cause. And we're going to raise some money there. We might have Twitch front page. We're going to go big. We're going to go absolutely massive on this. It is easily my greatest work. I can't overstate that. I might be releasing a hype video on Tuesday where I'm going to leak the overlay a little bit because I can say, no ego, no exaggeration, it is the best thing I have ever made for Guild Wars 2. I genuinely hope you guys love it. I cannot wait to see what you think about Master of the Arena 2. The entire team has excelled themselves in a way that I think everyone can be proud of, right? Okay, everyone can be truly proud of it. It makes me, I am honored to be in such company as the developers and designers that were involved in Master of the Arena 2, right? Even if you're not into PvP, guys, seriously, check it out. You are not gonna regret it, right? It is gonna be an experience that you will hopefully never forget for some good reasons, right? It is going to be remarkable. And, hey, throw me over some gold, guys. Exclamation mark HCL in the chat. Exclamation mark Motor in the chat. We need some gold. If you want to send some gold, MightyTeapot 2093. And hook us up big time, gamers. Let's go. Hey, Foos, thanks for the tier 1. I appreciate that, my friend. And Baharu there with the prime. Cheers, guys. Thanks so much. And buy a Surfshark VPN too. Support the stream. It's a little bit, wait, that's a little bit outdated. Half the effects that are happening. I actually do. That's a good call, actually. Oops. The answer to that question is no, Nike. Yeah. Moto 3 will be Stronghold. 5 bots versus 5 multi-boxes. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, man. Maybe. Yeah. Very nice. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I can do that, by the way. Rim, you want to be Rim, yeah? Because I've got you in there twice as Rinler. I can just change that, though, real quick to Rim. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do you want 1M or 2? I've changed you. You're in. 1M. I got you. And you're coming to EU World. Obviously, Ruins of Sirmia. That's where I'm at. Right, finals. Oh, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. I'm so tempted to leak you guys the overlay. Fuck, I want to do it. Ah. Something that. Well, I'm just being honest. It's been a week. Well, that's what I mean. It's been a week. I want to leak it. No one's saying it. Well, yeah, it's because I'm thinking constantly, Nike. I want to leak that shit. I'm going to stop saying it, though. It's time to stop, guys. We've got to keep control. Got to keep control. Empower yourself. I like that. See, Nike, he's wingmanning me here. I'll give subs if you leak. I might leak it on Tuesday. In the, or show sorrow off a little bit. Hell yeah. That's not how it works. Well, I'm resisting the urge. What have we got here? Whoa! Yo! Barry Potter for the Motor Monkeys with 500 gold. 500 gold and 166 Mystic coins. Very cool. So I'm actually gold capped now. Great. Well, that'll do. Hey, really appreciate that, Barry Potter. Thank you so much. All right, you guys ready for the finals? I know I certainly am. Although, apparently the teams are not. So there you go. Very nice. Have you seen the overlay, Nike? I feel like you have. Or have you not? I don't know. Actually, don't know. Nope. Okay, I'm leaking it to you. Hang on, I'm leaking it. There you go. I've leaked it. I've leaked it to Nike. There's actually a little bit more than that. There are some things that aren't shown. There are things that aren't shown there that that are next. Yeah. Yeah, there are some things that are gonna I've added to, I've made better actually. Very nice. Too lazy to reinstall the game, sell all shit and send you the gold. Listen, bankroaders, if you do that, I will consider it a personal favor. I'm not joking. Please do that. I really need your help right now. Yeah. What do you think, Nike? I'm actually curious. I'm curious what you think, actually. Yeah. Okay, are we in yet, by the way? Oh, we're in. Okay. Oh, faux fire to finish it off. Of course. What else could it be? Okay, what else could it be? And it is going to be the Chrono from Misha. Now, I think this build actually is good. Kazas has got a massive brain. Like, this is a build apparently theory crafted by Kazas, a French player, very known for having a massive intellect when it comes to theory crafting. And it is a good build. I'll be curious if they actually end up playing this, actually, in Master of the Arena. Be very curious if we see that. But it's going to be the Chrono Monster, as we can see here. We have Boyce on the Untamed. I think this man would play Ranger, even if Ranger wasn't that good. He loves it. Here it is. And this is a very strong build, actually, right? A very strong build, indeed, with a lot of damage. Frey on the support Tempest. And the Dagger Focus, remember the Soldier, and Avatar Amulet, Transference Energy. With the Earth Trait Line, Draza on the Spectre. And denying him Shadow Force. Oh, no. The Gentleman's Agreement has failed. So he has no Shadow Force, but who cares, I guess. Zan on the Harbinger with the slight change. Well of Darkness with Corrosive Poison card, Spectral Walk, Elixir of Ambition, and the Rune of the Sunless. On the red team, it is the Triple Thief. It's the Double Spectre from Ione and from Miaz. Azadome with the Deadeye, which has just been destroying. Absolutely been crushing so far this AT. Can it get the finals? Feifei here on the Blade Sworn for that support damage duelist hybrid, and a build that's been doing so well in my opinion. It's the one, the only, it's the Roachalist, also known as Jeff, rocking the Catalyst, Hammer, Marauder Catalyst here in the Grand Finals of Monthly AT. Now, this map is is very snowbally. So we could see things get out of control here. If there's a decisive fight, then things can get bad. Now, the problem is that, of course, these teams are very good, right? And that does mean that they're going to be skilled at disengaging. They're going to be skilled at not losing. And that may make it a little bit slower, a little bit less snowbally. We see the opening split, both teams going for a triple node here. Oh, but they already go for Fei. That Blades one gets shut down hard. And the Chronomancer actually just gets a beautiful gravity well. It was almost like a double Gravwell, right? Double Gravwell with Continuum split. And, of course, the Elite Gravwell. It's like 3 Gravwells, right? Now, that's ridiculous. They have 4 Gravwells, including the Harbinger one as well. And a good victory over 55. They secure the Waterfall as well. Boyce demonstrating his proficiency in those 1v1s. But they do lose Frey there for the cost of that. Boyce now moving in for the contester, will be able to do that, and that is going to deny any rotation towards the Waterfall there by Jeff, keeping this contestant. And actually, Boyce looking strong in this 1v1 right now, actually. Could be able to potentially even find a kill on that Catalyst, but no, the restain does come through to that very powerful self-healing on the hammer, putting in work. Meanwhile, we have this 3v3 over here. There is no Tempest, and that is now being moved back in here as well. We're going to see Roachalist actually leave that. Oh, we're going to see Boyce chase. Looks like he's actually going to say, you know what, you can decap that. That's fine. I'm going to grab middle and maybe push into this fight and maybe swap up the Chronomancer or something like that in this team fight. Let's see what's going to happen. It looks like Boyce simply going to rotate into that and just straight up outnumber it, and then they're going to keep an eye on middle and rotate in quickly. Mia is getting focused down very, very hard at taking very heavy damage. Has 11,000 Shroud. Can middle be contested? I think Boyce should be able to make it if he wants to get that contest. Not quite able to do so, actually. But red team do actually only have 1 node right now, so they're not really going to get a super crazy advantage. The amount of control coming out from blue is absolutely disgusting. Pure lockdown, pure CC landing right now onto that red Spectre, securing that kill. Meanwhile, we have Misha, the Master of Disasters, holding firm here alongside Draza, dealing some very powerful condition damage here onto Fei and Asdome. And Ozzy, this Chronomancer is big here, right? Like, the Deadeye is going to struggle to have value. The Aegis spam is really good here. The Well of Precog is really good here as well. That kind of thing, super irritating for the Deadeye to deal with, right? That very short cooldown reflect, now used to protect Draza to keep him alive against that Deadeye. Putting in the work, but it's not actually enough. It's still not enough. Could not get that healing well off there, and this does now mean Frey in a weird spot. Could we actually see a glyph here? There's stability being used. There's no glyph available, though, so it's going to have to be an outnumbered hole right now for Frey and Misha, at least for the time being. Let's see if Red are going to try and push this. Looks like they're not going to. They realize it's very, very slow. There's too much reflect here, and yeah, Azam obviously not able to deliver value because he can't really break through the magnetic aura and, of course, the feedback simultaneous. That's simply not going to work. And 55, even though they... Oh, never mind, actually. Cancel that, actually. Frey gets absolutely nuked from orbit. And destroyed. And, of course, there is a very low damage output here, and that does mean that red team kind of free cast. And that's exactly what happened there, right? So, yeah, it actually, never mind. It destabilized instantaneously, and Draza not able to get back there in time. And a decisive fight victory there, actually, for the red team. And you can see the map state being very heavily affected by that. Blue team now managing to, managing to die. Red getting into control there. And this is going to be a bit spooky, because this is actually very, very scary right now for our red team. Blue team, rather. Because Draza and Zan do make the intercept there, which is very nice. We see the intercept. Very big. They are denying this node, but they're now 2 caps down. Because I think Misha almost has to move over here, though. This is a little bit awkward, and I think this is where the Chronomancer is maybe not working. I don't really see many good fights for blue, and yeah, Harbinger already dies immediately here. This is not good at all for the blue team. We do see the neutralization here from Boyce. They're going to try and break through this Catalyst here as much as they possibly can. It's going to happen. Very good. But it's not really going to be enough here, not at least for the time being. Blue backs off. And yeah, they don't have Zan. And red now into a big lead. This is bad. Very bad. 55 are in trouble right now. They're in a huge amount of trouble. They managed to get themselves the waterfall. But they need to do a little bit more than this. And I think they are going for this 3-node style, which again does get punished by the Thief. Thief can rotate ridiculously quickly on this map because it's very linear and very, you know, everything's in a straight line. So it's very easy for the Thief to kind of be everywhere at the same time. We do maybe see a revival if Frey coming round for it. Is he going to land it? Oh, no, he is not, unfortunately. The knockback denies it and actually burns the glyph too. That is not ideal. Very nice knockback there at the last second. That was actually using the Deadeye ability, by the way. Azam carrying as usual okay, with the Shadow Gust to knock the downstate away. And now Frey's exposed. Frey's dead here. He's not getting out of this. He has Obsidian, but I mean, can he get to Zan somehow? I don't really see this. No, he gets immobilized. There's the immobilized. There's the kill. Deadeye meta, guys. Deadeye meta. Now, Red Team did commit very heavily to that kill. They end up yielding 2 nodes there in this situation. Jeff does get this decap over here with the Catalyst, but Boy's actually doing really nicely in this 1v1. Frey bleeding out for a long time is going to be a little bit painful. Looks like Boy's really going to go for this kill. Wants to try and find it. Can he land the kill? No, not really. I think the Catalyst should be okay in this situation. Gets to a good spot, and I think Boyce maybe just wants to force the node here. I'm not really seeing a kill potential, although then again, this is Boyce we're talking about here. He's going to go for it. Can he land a CC into a chain? But no, the magnetic aura is up here, as you can see. Draws are now on the downstate as well. Oh, no. This is problematic here. Misha, the Master Disaster, about to go downstate as well. Has the precog, gets it down, heals himself up a little bit, but that's not enough. He's outnumbered here. It's too much. He's going to go down. Zan kiting can't do anything about this. Red Team losing Red Team winning every single fight right now. Every single fight being won by the Thieves. And this is just, yeah. And Red's playing this well. They're playing to their strengths here. They are understanding what they need to do, and they're doing it well. They're going big. They're going fucking hard in this setup here. Those 3 Thieves just all over the place. Now, I think it is an interesting note that Blue are basically doing massive the arena practice here. They aren't specialization stacking. It's kind of what I heard a lot of, actually, basically, is that people are going to be stacking Spectres as monthly AT because, well, basically, Willbender got nerfed and Harbinger a little bit as well. So this was actually very expected. But yeah, also we see some of these teams kind of practicing for Motor as well. And so you see a little bit of composition inequality, right, because of the way that these teams are actually approaching this. But it's not over yet. But I think it's very unfavorable right now for rank 55. Very nice kite from Zan, but he's just going to get chased by these Thieves. I don't see a way for him to survive here. Like, the Thieves just going to jump him. There's the CPC. He has got a leapy thing, but it's not going to be enough. No, he is down. Gets interrupted and shut down off node. And yeah, Feifei bleeding that. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Boyce down on middle here as well. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Where are the kills? Where are the kills in 55? They've got nothing. No kill. Like, their last kill was here. Right around, like, 2.5 minutes into the game. They're getting nothing done here. They need to find an opening. They are kind of getting bullied, to be... Oh! We see the relog from Boyce going for the Herald. They don't want to lose. They're going to try and make this work. They're going to swap it up. This is so bad, 55, though. This is so bad. Frey down. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Yeah, they're struggling with damage output. They're really struggling with DPS here. They might have to swap something out here. Or adapt in some way. Or as there will be problems here. Goodness me. Ah, yes. Very nice. But yeah, I think that is where you go for the Blade Sword, right? Instead of the Harbinger. Of course, that's exactly what's happened on this team, right? Because Feifei, big Necro main, Necro fan, Necro enjoyer. Mesmer fan as well, actually. But yeah, a lot of Necros are definitely going for that Blade Sworn, right, these days, instead of the Necro, right? They've moved away from that. And again, things just going from bad to worse. Draza eliminated again. That's it. That's GG. At this point. I mean, now Boyce is on the Herald. That is maybe going to give them the edge in some of these fights. It's going to bring more damage, but they're outnumbered right now. They have to find a way to regroup. They're going to have to hold until Draza is back. This is a 5v4 currently. They've got to hold it. They can't die here. If they die, this is catastrophic. Boyce does have the, the heal skill, so he holds. Draza now moving in. Will draw one of the Thieves. If 55 can make this work, if they can find this team fight, they may be able to get Jeff here. There's no support, bear in mind, for Red, so it's very hard to revive that. See if they can get this kill. Good support from the Spectre here, though. Giving some barrier and support to that Catalyst. Boyce in trouble. Getting blasted. Gets a massive heal. 55 maybe finding a little bit of ground here. Can they get a kill? They need a kill. They haven't had a kill in so long. Can they maybe get the Deadeye here? Deadeye getting blasted down very, very hard. Deadeye's going to go down. That's big. But we need decaps. 400 points. 400 points. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Draza now needs to get this decap, and now the Herald is paying off. We see Azadome eliminated, Feifei eliminated. 55 should be able to neutralize. Ooh, that could be a third kill here on Ione. That might be it. That is going to be it, I think. A bit of Shroud left over, but not much. There's the heal, but there's no Shadow Step. It's hard for this Thief to get out. Oh, I like that knock. Ooh, is that off node? Nah, well, it doesn't matter because he's a thief anyway, right? He gets the port. But now we need that third decap. Misha kind of watching for that. Draza and Boyce moving in. Draza has to stay here. They got to decap this. They need it. Azum stealth, though. Ooh, Draza in so much trouble. He cannot die. 55 cannot have a single death. They must have it. Oh, no. Asdom greeds. And it's punished. Is 55 going to turn this? I don't believe it. Oh, they've got to be aware of Feifei, though. I think Misha will be watching. Yes, he is aware. We now see Feifei moving, but Misha intercepts. Okay, and Draza gets it. Oh, that was so greedy from Azom. I mean, I don't want to criticize him too hard because he's been popping off. He's been carrying these games, to be clear. But that was so greedy from Azom, and it got punished brutally, actually. Ooh, Misha in trouble, though. Has to grab. Well, there's the... Has the double block, but no, the unblockable Dragon Slash gets it done. And honestly, I'm not sure if 55 can really afford that death. It's going to be hard to bunker now. They're going to have to hold off this 1v2. Frey arrives. There's the heal skill here from Boyce. Can they hold this until Misha is back in action? They're going to have to concede middle here. Zan can't really hold that. I don't think that's going to be problematic. Thief 1v1 is still continuing over here. Again, Asdome actually probably feels good about that. He loves that stuff. 2 knows, but that's not good enough. They need to decap middle here. Can they find it? Boyce moving in. Tempest outnumbered though 1v2. That isn't good. Frey needs some help here. 55 have got to find an answer. They're so low. Draza about to go down say here. Can't win the 1v1. Loses the 1v1 to Azadome there. Zan in trouble here. There it is. That is the end of that. I think that's going to be game. Azadome absolutely hard carrying. Wins the 1v1 into Draza. Frey can't hold the 1v2. It's GG. 480 to 380. 55 lose. It's GG well played. They can't survive it. The triple thief is too much. The Deadeye and the double Spectre. The Jeff victory stream is incoming. Azadome, what a play from Azadome. What a gameplay. Yeah.